Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Down. Strap season. Y'all know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the ball. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switch codes, but he codes with focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode, I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibe, I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a piece, man. I ain't got no time for a piece, man. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up!
If I let my dogs off the leash, they do my work to get out of dogs while they eat me. Honestly, they can smell the blood and the beef. If they don't leave anything behind after eating.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a beast. When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they want to call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode, I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibe, I'm the kingpin.
How y'all doing? Let's see, everybody. What is going on? What is going on? Let's see. Let's see, I'm a little bit behind this morning. What's happening? What is going on? What's going on? Let's get some people up in here. You know what I'm saying? What is going on? Man, we see that Terrence Crawford, man, he has, you know what I'm saying, he has offered to fight. You know what I'm saying? He has offered to fight to Errol Spence Jr., you know what I'm saying? And I told you guys when we was on the live stream, we was cooking pretty good, that I told you that Bud Crawford, he wasn't going to, you know, he wasn't going to put that fight at 154. I knew that was out of the question. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some people up in here. What's going on? Like, everybody's still asleep. You know, you probably watched that Cepeda fight last night. So I didn't want to see that fight. Cepeda, I went on Boxing Outlet last night and chopped it up over there with Boxing Outlet and 2 Cent Boxing. You know what I'm saying? Had a good time over there. We chopped it up over there. That's a good channel, man. And 2 Cent Boxing, man. Make sure y'all subscribe over there to 2 Cent Boxing and Boxing Outlet. You know what I'm saying? He's been putting out that fire. You know what I'm saying? And he might pop up today. But that Cepeda fight, you know what I'm saying? It looked like it was pretty good for Cepeda. You know what I'm saying? 29 wins, 0 losses, 25 KOs. What's happening? And you know, Cepeda, you know what I'm saying, he got the man out of there. Had your boy, what's his name? Jack Reese. he was repping that fight. You know, he's a character in itself, and he stopped that fight. You know what I'm saying? We used to pay the, you know what I'm saying, volume puncher, putting hands and feet on what's his name, Gaster, uh, Marcito Gaster, right? I really don't know them guys like that. I've seen Williams Cepeda fight one or two times, which is why I didn't cover the fight. Um, you know, but he's calling out for Devin Haney, and he's not going to go back. Devin Haney is done with 135. He's not going back down there, so you know he can call out Devin Haney. Devin Haney, he's only going to go back to 135 for maybe one fight, and that'll probably be Tank Davis. What's going on, Spirit? Salute to you. And he's not going back to 135. So you know, Williams Cepeda, he can call out whoever. He's going to drop those belts, Devin Haney, and they're going to scatter. So he's going to have to fight for one of those belts. And if he have to face Shakur Stevenson, he's never going to be a champion. You know what I'm saying? Because Shakur is going to destroy a guy like Williams Cepeda, even though he's a volume puncher. You know what I'm saying? He really, if you look at his resume, and I looked at it this morning, you can't name anybody on that damn resume. It's almost like they dropped him in the heart of Mexico and just let him go at it. You know what I'm saying? When anybody around Mexico. Now, I'm not saying that there are no good fighters in Mexico. I'm just saying that Williams Cepeda is nobody special. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's going to shake up the division. And even though he had a good performance, who is Marcito Gasta? You know what I'm saying? That's nobody that's like really at the top of the division that, you know what I'm saying, I think is a threat to a Frank Martin or anybody or Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? Those are the guys at 135 that's really kicking it and doing things at 135. So, Williams Cepeda, I don't think he's a danger to anybody, but you know what I'm saying, he got one win, and you know what I'm saying, now he's feeling himself. So, Golden Boy is just kind of like insignificant and irrelevant right now. They don't have a big stable, you know what I'm saying, of talented fighters. I mean, average fighters, yeah, so somebody, those journeymans that we're used to seeing, you know what I'm saying? So they got some guys like that, like Alex Rocha, I think he's one of them. But nobody who's really going to become champions. These are more like title holders, like junior title holders, they got over there. And I can see him winning a regular belt, you know what I'm saying, on some belt that Devin drops, maybe the WBA or something like that. But the big belts, the WBC, where they got the talent, you know what I'm saying, he's not gonna, you know what I'm saying. But it's the best chance for him to grab a belt because people are not really interested in becoming champions anymore, in my opinion. So, but what's going on? How you say your name? Big Shot to God. And what's going on, 2 Cent Boxing? What's happening with y'all today?
What up? What you mean?
What up, Paul? What up, Shaq?
Hey,
What's hopping on?
Terrence Crawford back on his steal your wallet and help you look for it, shit.
Yeah. Didn't I tell y'all? I got this man so pinned to the mat, man. What's going on, Greeks with Fire in the building? You know what I'm saying? I told you I got his soul. The man is a weasel, man. That's what he is, bro. He's a scavenger. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's gonna take advantage of, you know what I'm saying, anybody when he see an opportunist. He is an opportunist. Anytime he see a chance to, you know what I'm saying, take an advantage, he's gonna do it. He's not the type of champion that want to fight somebody at their best. The Black Canelo. You know what I'm saying? He's looking for the weakest, the path of least resistance. And that's the thing, you know what I'm saying, that
at least Canelo got the fan base to be doing that, though. At least Canelo got the fan base to be doing that.
Yeah, and that's a
he has the support. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is supporting this, though. That's the thing. Nobody's supporting this, bro. Like, we want to see a competitive fight. That's it. If the fight not gonna be competitive, why would you make it at a weight where it wouldn't be competitive? But I feel like the more I'm thinking about it, and how Spence was like, I hope it's at 154. I feel like he knew it was a possibility this could possibly happen. And hearing all the things about the rib injury, he couldn't spar, he couldn't cut the weight, he couldn't this and that. I mean, maybe it won't be too bad at 147 again, because I feel like he had to have known that it could have been a possibility this could happen. But he probably didn't think he was going to lose, to be honest. But I don't know, man. Go ahead. What you were saying, Paul? Oh, Paul, too, I want to ask you, did you see what Shakur Stevenson said about Frank Martin?
call him a bitch or whatever. Oh, we got
Yeah.
cuss. Yeah, that's what I was talking about on Outlet last night. Calling people out their names. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get away from cussing because of YouTube, but he's trying to really put this villain hat on, like it's going to increase his sales. But he's a pure boxer, man. Unless you're knocking out people like Tank, people ain't go. Only hardcore fans going to appreciate him because he is a pure boxer. And he's trying to mess with this charisma, trying to mess with his image. Trying to become more live. AB, he just got a swag that he knows how to talk. He knows how to talk crap. I don't think Shakur Stevenson know how to talk crap. I think he just knows how to insult.
Genuine. It's not
Right.
genuine. That's the difference. Like it's
not,
you should have just kept the good guy image. Like you got engaged to your girl. You know what I'm saying? Like you should have just ran with the good guy image, because this villain image you're trying to portray, it just looks forced and it makes you look corny. Like you too light skinned to be trying to act that hard, bro.
Well, I think he's trying to separate himself and give himself a little bit more pizzazz, on the charisma side, and he just don't know how to achieve it. Like you said, it comes off as corny if it ain't really you. And AB, he comes from that environment. Stevenson, I think he comes from the hood too, but it's a different hood. It's kind of like a Puerto Rican hood. So, some Puerto Rican.
Shakur messed up his opportunity. Shakur messed up his opportunity to be the golden boy coming off the Olympics when he got in that legal trouble and got caught fighting on camera.
Hey, we can barely hear you. I can barely hear you, bro. I can barely hear you.
Hold on, let me take this Joan on. Hold on. I said Shakur ran into difficulties when he got in that legal trouble coming off the Olympics, so he wasn't able to really play the good guy role anymore. That's kind of what made that turn left.
Nah, he still could have been the good guy though. He got the smile with the dimples, with the pretty hair. He got the boxing, like his style. No, I'm not trying to be funny.
You said
I'm not trying to be
they
funny.
really been checking him out.
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. The same with Devin. I feel like Devin should have kept the good guy image. Me and my dad got a nice relationship, because everybody can't be a villain. Like he could still talk, even like Shane Mosley. I don't think Shane Mosley ever tried to portray himself as a villain.
Nah, he didn't, and it's funny.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Look like we could now. I'm wondering if my internet.
No, I think he cut out. I can't hear him no more. But that's what it's I don't know. I don't like it. I really don't. And you coming with all this energy with Frank, you really should have came at Lomachenko like that for real. And you saying Frank Martin ain't a name. Anytime you mention 135 division, Frank name comes up. His name comes up. He's definitely made a name for himself at the weight class.
Yeah, and I think they kind of see the holes in Frank right now, because he's still struggling with his identity as a fighter, and they want to catch him before he put it all together. And I think they want to be the first to get Frank's name on their list. I think Frank need a few more fights before he, become a complete fighter. I think he got a lot of skills, but to fight the top talent, Frank going to need to put it all together and have that confidence to be able to press forward and keep his advantage, on offense. And I don't see that with Frank right now. Right now, he's still ambivalent of what he want to do. He want to be a counterpuncher. I think Shakur them see that. So they're trying to rush to get that name under their belt. And I see Keyshawn and Shakur, they kind of like feed off each other. Or Keyshawn feeds off of Shakur. I think Shakur want to be the big dog at top rank. I think he, it's almost like a teenage high school type thing, like where they want to be the big man on campus. And, it all starts from Terrence Crawford and how he moves all emotionally and, just acting like, a victim, and everybody's ducking me. And I'm like, bro, you haven't fought? No, I mean, bro, you're a pure boxer. Nobody is really ducking a pure boxer, only, or if they do, it's because they know you're not going to engage in a fight. That's why a lot of people don't like to fight Devin Haney, where they think, some people think he's got a weak chin. maybe, but nobody likes to get into a fight with a pure boxer, somebody who's just going to be on the outside and you got to chase him around the ring. So that's something that he's facing. He's looking at it like people are scared of him, like he's Mike Tyson, like he's some kind of dominant fighter or something like that, like where he's just going to just knock you out or something or hurt you. No, people don't want to deal with that style of his, that Olympic kind of like style. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm criticizing it right now just because I just understand how fighters, if you're a pressure fighter and you got to lead all the time and this guy's just a counterpuncher, that's all he's going to do, then it's kind of frustrating. He's never going to take a chance. He's never going to lead, or he's never going to, put himself in a position to where he's going to take chances. Then it's kind of like you don't want to fight that dude, because he's always going to sit back and you're going to have to figure out how to get in and take chances and, look bad. And that's why Pitbull Cruz turned him down, because he would have put Pitbull Cruz look crazy up in the ring. And he would have made
And also on top of Bob lowballing them. Like, you think if the business was right, these people wouldn't fight Shakur?
Say that again. I'm sorry, sweetie. What's that?
I think Bob is also lowballing these fighters, because you think if the business was right, these people wouldn't fight Shakur?
Right. That's one thing we know about Bob Arum, man. Bob Arum, he just, he's a cheapskate. Look at Danny Garcia, when they wanted to fight Crawford. I think, Danny's used to making $9 million. Keith Thurman's, they used to making millions, and Bob gonna come in there and try to offer them some cheap price, and they never negotiated with them guys. It was just like you asking way out your price range. Bob is not trying to pay millions for a fight. And Shakur, he's kind of stuck in that matrix, under that banner, because, Bob's reputation, precedes him, for being a cheapskate. And he could have got, if you think about it, Shakur could have got undisputed at 130, but Bob didn't want to finance that shit, because nobody really knows who those champions are. And he could have definitely been undisputed at 130, but nobody's really checking for that division. So he's moving up to 130. He may have to just, keep moving up, to get the fights that he really needs. I believe somebody will fight Shakur at 140, 135. It's like people just waiting around to see how the belts fall. And, but all this rah-rah and, the Keyshawn Davis rah-rah, just like get in the ring with somebody before, and make the fights and get the achievements, before you start talking all kind of mad crap to everybody. And that's kind of where I'm at with Shakur Stevenson. I think he's a great talent. I see he got like the most talent out of everybody, but he got to get in there and make the fights. He's got to fight the fights first. And before he start acting like he's some kind of superstar veteran, he beat Oscar Valdez, but we never looked at Oscar Valdez like he was like King Kong or like he was some kind of great fighter. That's just people that were built up over at Golden Boy. We don't look at Golden Boy fighters like that. The real fighter out of what makes Golden Boy like really popular is Oscar De La Hoya. They're still living off his cachet. Can you think of anybody coming out of top rank right now besides Terrence Crawford or Golden Boy that really, make those companies, big time? In the last maybe
Ryan Garcia, that's the only person I would say.
But as a boxer, think about it. What Ryan Garcia has really done to impress the world? The only thing I could think about when I think about Ryan Garcia, I think
that reflex bag on Instagram.
That's what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm talking about. See, so they don't have a core of tough talk fighters that you think about damn, man, I can't wait to see, so in the ring. I can't wait to see this fight in the ring. So I want to see these guys mix it up. Maybe Virgil Ortiz. Was on the way, but then he's breaking down. We
Stanley Onis with Golden Boy,
wait
right?
5 years. I thought Stanley Onis was PBC. I got to look that up. I thought Stanley Onis was PBC. But either way, when you think about the companies, there's nobody, I mean, I like Shushu, and I was liking Trayvon Marshall. I mean, I still like him, but thinking of the stars that's gonna, like have future big fights on the way. And right now, they just don't have, nobody that like is gonna just take over. And just have exciting fights in the future. Because everybody's looking for big event fights, and nobody wants to fight those journeyman fights. And we're not having a lot of good journeyman fights. And to decide where these guys, where they stack into the division, and say, okay, man, this is the up and coming guy. I just saw him beat, number 5 beat number 6, and we're just not getting that. All we getting is like guys who are rising to the top and trying to look for big fights, and we don't even know who these guys are. They're just popping up. And I want Devin Haney. They beat one journeyman, and I want Tank. And it's like we're not seeing the fights that's leading up to these guys. Warrant this kind of attention, and it's like boxing is kind of everywhere right now. And then you got Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. that sucked all the air out the room. We had to wait all that time just for that to be a disappointment. So everybody I think boxing is in a tailspin right now. So we're hungry for good fights. We want to see those medium fights too. Frank, he's going to have to really push his brand now since he's turned down that Stevenson fight. He's really going to have to fight somebody that's worth seeing him in the ring with, but he do still need to pick up his experience. He needs to become more of a complete fighter, because I don't want to see a one-sided ass beating. If he gets into the ring with Stevenson, I want to see Frank, at his best. I want to see him confident. And then we'll have a good go at lightweight. I want to see Frank. I want to see Tank come out of that superstar status and just stop, doing what he can do and knocking off some of these names, so we can stop speculating, about that division. Maybe he'll go up to 140 and start taking out some suckers. That'll be nice, because right now the way it stands at 135, we just kind of up in the air. Stevenson is just, he just needs to get in the ring. He needs to shut up. Go ahead and get him some wins up on this belt. And I think 135 would be better if that was to happen. Right now I'm just so pissed off about the rematch, and with Terrence Crawford, man. I'm just like, dang, I'm just disgusted with how the champions are acting, man. There's just no integrity, to want to fight a guy at his best. I just hope it all backfires on his ass, Terrence Crawford. I know I'm all over the place, I'm just waking up.
Yeah, man, I hope it do. I mean, it will eventually, because I don't know. Like, is PBC trying to make Terrence Crawford the next big thing? Because Terrence don't even really have too many more fights left, to be honest with you. And what makes Terrence think, unless this is PBC's plan, that he can try to stiff Earl but go up and fight Canelo? I can't see that happening unless that's part of what PBC is trying to do, because you don't have no power like that, Terrence. For you to say, I won't move up to fight Earl, but I'll move up to fight Canelo, that in itself is contradictory. It makes no sense to me.
Well, actually, it's not. Because if you think of him as a weasel, he don't want to give Errol Spence Jr., any kind of advantage. He knows that it's kind of like, the art of war. I mean, you know your enemies or your opponent weakness, you're not going to give him an advantage, to beat you. And I told you guys that in the live stream, I told you that he was not going to fight Errol Spence Jr. at 154, because that's the type of fighter he is. He knows that Errol Spence Jr. has trouble making that weight. He knows he's done with. That's why he waited. That's why he stretched out the negotiations. He wanted to act like he's been after Errol, but he's been waiting for Errol to, to be weak, waiting for him to get fat, waiting for a weakness, and he knew that Errol Spence Jr. was done at 147, and he came back and signed the contract. So he even stretched it out by getting. He knew Errol wasn't going nowhere, and so that's why he did what he did with David Avenesian, getting his tune-up in, testing out, possibly, whatever Victor Cocktail put up in him, testing that shit, and then he finally signed. The contract, stretching Errol Spence Jr. out even a whole nother 6 months or whatever it was, and to make sure that he was going to be, weak for that fight. And it's just that's why he put the fight back at 147, because Errol Spence Jr. had trouble at making that weight. So it makes sense to me. So he don't want to fight Errol Spence Jr. at his absolute best, and if he went up to 154. He knows that Errol Spence Jr. possibly can come out with that stamina, come out with, all his tools intact. He don't want that shit. So I told you it was going to be back at 147, because this dude is not like the traditional champion. Him and Canelo, they're opportunists. And they don't care. They just want to get by. And he even prefaced the shit, with talking about they hope he don't sign, for the rematch. See, that's that weird, that's that weird hood crap. Where he gonna preface it. We hope he don't re-sign.
That's that whole statement is, okay, we offered the fight at 147, but we hope it don't sign it because it's a waste of time. Like, let's break that down. Why would you so you're gonna waste both our time? You're gonna waste my time and your time and the network's time and the people that want to buy this fight because you hoping he don't take the rematch at 147. That to me doesn't make any sense at all. If you read the tweet, you can clearly see they trying to play mind games and head games with Spence.
Well, I don't think it's mind game. I think they understand how people perceive Crawford, and that's just trying to save face a little bit. Trying to kind of like give excuses to why they're doing that. Saying like the first fight was just he was so dominant in the first fight that they don't need a second fight, but you signed for a rematch. So all that is null and void. It's just more gaslighting from Terrence Crawford, just like when he said, when I face you, they're going to say you a weight drain. It's just gaslighting. They know that's what they're doing.
Yeah, because you knew you were going to wait that was the plan. Like that was your plan all along, because why would you say that? Oh, you're not going to, you don't plan on fighting him until he's been at the weight too long. That's exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. What C. Tom said, he called it good business. Yeah, I mean, you could look at it that way. But you got a business side and you got a legacy side. And most hardcore fans watch it for the legacy side. We want to see the guys fight when they're at their absolute best. You don't want to fight a guy when he's at his weakest. And if you call that good business, that's probably what it is. It's good business. But, as a boxing fan, I want to see Errol, fight this guy when he has everything, all his facilities, waiting around and strategically moving through a division. It's a smart move, but you don't get the same respect as a champion that went through the division, who fought everybody. So he even cut himself off. The more gaslighting is when he started calling out Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman, calling them hoes that dodged him. So that's another tactic too, not to fight those guys. Right. So I just hope everybody see that. So you see how he moves. See, he think he's being smart by saying these things, but it's just another reason not to fight these guys. He said he don't want to fight Jerome Bucenis because he only looking for big fights. So he closes all the doors. He closes all the pathways so he don't have to fight nobody. Once again, keeping himself isolated, from having to prove anything, strategically picking folks, And this is why he gets criticized. This is why nobody likes Terrence Crawford. Because he had like people don't see what he's doing. Do he have skills? Yeah, but fight dudes at their best, bro. Fight when everybody's, is active. Stop waiting for layoffs and waiting for, your time. This is almost like a Machiavellian type of champion. He's not trying to win, with you, facing you. He's waiting for you to turn your back. you know what I'm saying, and then try to fight you. You know what I'm saying? That type of dude that'll sucker punch you. And that's what it feels like, you know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like to me. Um, you know, so you
Yeah,
know,
he's
like I said,
extremely obvious with it too. It's not even like he's trying to, mask it, disguise it, or nothing. Like it's just blatant in your face, and then when people see it, everybody wants to act like Terrence Crawford is the victim, and then he got all his friends hopping on all the podcasts trying to defend him, and it's like there's no need to defend you if you're truly a champion. Even like Mayweather, people could not like Mayweather, say he doing this and say he doing that, but he doesn't have to defend his resume. He doesn't have to continuously say, "Oh, everybody's saying they ain't fought nobody." He doesn't have to continuously do that.
Good
well,
morning.
yeah,
Good
I mean,
morning.
good morning. What's happening? 52 Block Network TV. What's going on, my brother? Y'all make sure y'all
Not much,
subscribe to
man.
my brother, 52 Blocks. Yes, sir. What's going on? Long time no see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, it's been a minute, man. I really ain't had a whole lot of good things to say, man. So I kind of been laying low or whatever. A lot of people have been trying to be real good sportsmen and stuff like that about Crawford, man. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want to give him no credit. I can't give him credit, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was listening to y'all and I feel like exactly how y'all feel. I've been feeling that way the whole from the beginning that this has been a plan of his to fight that man when at a disadvantage, you know what I'm saying? And I can't, I can't honor that, man. He never gave, Errol Spence the credit that he should have gave Errol Spence. So why should I give him credit? You know what I'm saying? Why should I respect him as a fighter? And he's never, done the same with other guys, you know what I'm saying, that's in the sport. So, I agree with you guys totally on that, man. Like but I wanted to talk to you guys and ask you guys about what did you think about his gloves, if you guys been looking more into on his gloves, because I got a little information about his gloves. I've been doing a little studying, and I found out that he is he got some type of contract with Everlast, and he's been using those MX boxing gloves that Tyson Fury uses, and I think Marcos Maidana used them on Adrian Broner and tried to use them in the fight with Mayweather as well. So that was one of the reasons why I think that he was able to do so much damage. And then you can look at Errol Spence, and you can tell he was he was like kind of confused about what the kind of power he was feeling from Terrence. You know what I'm saying? So I think Terrence been using those gloves. He just really started using them and testing them out probably around the time of the fight with Avanesian.
Mm-hmm. Coming them
Yeah,
gloves that were
but
all
my
busted
question is,
upside.
why would they bust though? What would cause gloves to bust?
That were
That's
those gloves. After I was looking them up, those gloves they like real thin and padding, really thin and padding. You can feel the knuckles through them. They call them a puncher's glove. They call it a puncher's glove, and they have like horsehair in them, and the padding. It's a guy on the internet. He opens those gloves. He reviews those gloves and opens them all the way up, cuts them down the middle, and he shows exactly what's on the inside of them. And they're super thin, super thin. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that what they say is you can only feel the knuckle and the wraps. You can feel the knuckle and the wraps through it. There's actually really barely any padding in it at all. So I'm thinking that that's one of the reasons why they probably bust. Plus, I believe that they do more to it to kind of like wear them down more. That's why they look all wrinkled and deformed the way they do, because I think they're doing a lot of other stuff to them. They could be beating on them with a sledgehammer. They could be doing all type of stuff to make them more worn, to where you could feel like like they feel like you're hitting them with a bare fist in there. You know what I'm saying? So, and then also I was looking at Boxing Outlet when he was talking about they was rubbing something on Errol Spence's glove, and so it's a two-time heavyweight champion Witherspoon. Witherspoon, he basically spoke on it and was talking about how like he spoke on what they did back in the day with gloves. They would wipe the grease off the gloves and try to keep the gloves dry as possible to try to cut the skin. So that's why doing it on his jab hand because they was trying to open up a cut on Errol Spence and hopefully swell up his eye, so they could say, he's the eye collector or something like that. But they really wanted to try to do as much damage to his face as possible.
Wow. I mean, boxing is dirty, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this fight was so high profile for Crawford. And, what I'm saying, with his chip on his shoulder, I mean, does it really surprise anybody? You know what I'm saying? Does it really surprise anybody if Crawford used any kind of tactic? You know what I'm saying? The Snac program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's so prideful, bro, that, you know what I'm saying, he just feel like he's a street dude. You know what I'm saying? You see the way he negotiates. You know what I'm saying? So he's fighting tooth and nail to get respect in the business, but you just feel like he don't have any honor like that. Look at Bomac,
Right.
You know what I'm saying, the way he carry himself, the way they talk, the way, you know what I'm saying, anything that comes up, you just feel like it's true. And the way they move through the division, the way they try to close themselves off and isolate themselves with telling lies and propaganda, you know what I'm saying, and making up fake beefs and becoming victims, you know what I'm saying. It's just like, bro, you didn't even go through the division like a regular boxer. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be considered pound for pound number one, you know, say you do everything you can to stay out of the big fights. You know what I'm saying?
Taking all shortcuts, as much shortcuts, and trying to have the advantage as much as possible. Like you said, it kind of gives you a peek at his character that it wouldn't be, you can't put it past him. If he's willing to do all those things, then why wouldn't he cheat? If he's hanging around with cheaters and then he's cutting corners, fighting people, that he knows that he's not challenging himself, fighting them, that it would fit his character to be a cheater.
Well, it's like Bob Arum said, Bud Crawford, he don't care about none of that stuff. He's about the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To get him in the ring against somebody is a big risk, you know what I'm saying, for him. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't even go fight Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like this dude he marches to the beat of his own drum, and it's like it's really off-putting because, you know what I'm saying, we look at boxing as a sport. You know what I'm saying? They looking at boxing differently. They looking at it like, it's a hustle or something like that.
Right.
His because you can look at Bomac and just tell, you know what I'm saying, he just in this just whatever, he just looked like somebody, you know what I'm saying, if he could put brass knuckles in the damn glove, God damn it, he'll go for it. God damn it, he don't care. He just look like a scumbag eating Cheetos.
Modern day Panama Lewis.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He don't care.
Panama Lewis.
If Spence would have, you know what I'm saying, passed on in the ring, he wouldn't give a damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's that's just the you know what I'm saying, the kind of times we're living in, and people, all they care about is the victory. And I'm just looking at the fight and I'm saying, hey man, can't y'all see something that's wrong with that dude? Can't y'all see something? This man ain't he ain't the old Errol Spence Jr. And they want to put it off, so they don't care, so they want to say just Bud Crawford just that great. And I'm just like, no matter what y'all saying, bro, I know you could look and see that man is weaker. He ain't got no power on his punches. The man legs ain't there. It's like, saying, what's going on? Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I started taking that weight cut serious when I seen the fight between Devin Haney and Lomachenko, and I realized
I think you cut out again.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hey, repeat that. You kind of cut out.
I said I started taking the weight cutting serious when I seen the fight between Lomachenko and Devin Haney, and how Devin Haney wasn't really himself in that fight, in my opinion. He looked a real, worn out and tired and stuff like that towards the later rounds, and I started thinking,
I mean,
it's really dangerous.
Like I always bring up Michael Rivera because I know he's a better fighter than he fought when he was in there with Frank Martin. I thought that was going to be like a Super Bowl fight because Michael Rivera got some skills and he's an athletic dude. He's long and he can crack. And when he went in there with Frank Martin, he just looked terrible. And now I was going for Frank Martin in the fight, but I just knew Rivera was going to give him a great fight. But he was so fucking drained, bro. He just looked, because he was passing out. Come to find out afterwards, he had trouble making the weight. He was passing out, and he was, you could see him lethargic in the ring with Frank Martin, and Frank Martin did whatever he wanted to do. And so that's my example of what weight drain looks like.
You know what? They've been trying to blame, Errol Spence, his performance on the car crash, but he could have always been showing, symptoms of this weight drain from the time, he started really having a trouble making that weight, and that's probably why you start seeing him more off balance, overreaching a lot more, and all that type of stuff. That probably was the issues that he was having with his weight, that all those times that we seen him doing that.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's the car. Well, Danny Garcia, they had an interview with Danny Garcia. And Danny Garcia, you know what I'm saying, he brought in some things I had to think about, because he was talking about, so he's saying, like, when you are training in these training camps, he said, you take such a beating in sparring. He said it's not the fight itself. He said it's the sparring that really takes a lot of toll on you. And, I think that Errol Spence Jr. had so much time off, 16 months, before he fought Terrence Crawford, that, he did a lot of sparring, he was out, and it breaks you down, especially if you're the type of dude, like, he might have overtrained, he might have overtrained. You see what his body looked like? I've never seen Errol Spence Jr. rehydrate and be that small. I mean,
do you think it was a rehydration clause in the contract?
You know what? That's a good question.
I have no idea, because he was smaller than Crawford. We know that Errol Spence Jr. is a big dude, right? So when he took off his robe and I saw how small he was, immediately, my alarm went off. I was like, look, what is going on? This man, when he was in the Ugas fight, y'all seen how big he was in the Ugas fight?
Yeah.
Did you see his back? Did y'all see how full he was? And did y'all see how he was moving in that Ugas fight? He was a little bit rusty at the beginning, right? But he got his rhythm quickly. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that wasn't the same Errol Spence Jr. that fought Ugas, right? We know he's built for tough. And for say Crawford fans, yeah, he missed the moment. Yeah, he got beat down, but that wasn't the same Errol Spence Jr.
But you know what? Crawford fans been trying to play with words when it comes to that, because when you say he wasn't the same fighter, just like this one guy, he did the video and tried to do a comparison on how he fight. We're not talking about the style, we talking about the energy behind how he was moving. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to correct somebody on that, like, hold on, man, don't play dumb. You know what we talking about when we say
you talking about that boxing gyms video? Man, that video ticked me off, man.
Yeah, I unsubscribed to him, man, off that video.
I don't watch boxing gym, man. Boxing gym is the biggest Bud Crawford nut holder in the world.
Hey, you know what? I knew something wasn't right about him when Tim Bradley was co-signing for him. I had to end up unsubscribing to that dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna sit there and watch y'all try to play dumb like y'all don't know what we talking about when we say he don't look the same.
Well, I think boxing Jim knows shit. I love his videos, the way he breaks it down.
Yeah.
I just think he loves Crawford. He would do anything to prove that Crawford style is supreme, you know what I'm saying? But his breakdowns are amazing.
Yeah, they are. I admit that, but like you say,
that's how I know he capping. I know he capping. You seen how slow Errol Spence was in that fight, how off balance he was in that fight, and you got the audacity to put up a comparison video where he's obviously moving faster. He's obviously stronger.
Yeah.
So he's doing the same thing, but he can't do it the same way. That's what we're talking about. He wasn't able to perform the same way as he usually performed, not what he was doing.
But I think I was just gonna say, like, they know, you know what I'm saying, but it's like they're so desperate to put Bud Crawford, you know what I'm saying, because most hardcore boxing fans, they really value skills over power, you know what I'm saying, and some like power over skills. But they so desperate to put EJ in a box, you know what I'm saying, that they're they're ignoring the fact that Errol Spence Jr. wasn't 100%. They just want to skip over that and just say
Right.
that skills pay the bills. So they want to like really push that narrative when obviously, you know what I'm saying, because I know they're astute boxing fans. I know that because, you know, who's going to follow this sport as closely as some of these guys who are in these on these channels, you know, saying battling back and forth daily, right? So I know they looked at Errol Spence Jr. and they saw what we saw. They just don't want to admit it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And nobody's saying that Bud Crawford, that's Bud Crawford's fault. But what I'm saying is Bud Crawford knew what he was doing. He strategically and tactically, you know,
And he trying to do it again. He trying to do it again.
Because remember when we was like, why Terrence Crawford hasn't signed the contract? Why hasn't he done this? Why is he, you know what I'm saying? Why is he holding back? Why is he trying to stretch it out? That's why. Because he was trying to keep Errol Spence Jr. down at 147. You know what I'm saying? That's why he called himself the puppet master. You know what I'm saying?
I spoke on it. I spoke on it 2 months before. 2 months before the fight, I spoke on that. So I try to tell all the Crawford fans, look, man, it ain't no excuse with me, man. Because at the end of the day, I'm not a fan of a fighter because they undefeated. You know, whether you win or lose, if I think you're a good fighter and I like your character, I'm gonna support you. You know, so it doesn't matter if you lose. You know what I'm saying? You know, on my end, I'm still going to support you. If I'm a fan of yours, you know, I'm gonna support you. You know, but yeah, I spoke on that 2 months before the fight that I believe that he was doing. You know, it was trying to drag him out and you know on the fight. You know, as far as keeping him weight drained, keeping him at that weight class for a long time. I think that that's exactly what he did. I think that that's what he's trying to do now.
They know that's what he did. See, that's the thing. See, we are boxing fans, and you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna say boxing aficionados. They know that's what he was doing.
Right.
We called this a long time ago. Even when he went over the Snac, I was one of the first ones to say, "Oh shit," you know. You know what I'm saying? I was the first one to say he's over there when he had that little mask on and he was running or he was punching on the bag. I said, "Oh crap, he's over there with Victor Conte." I was one of the first ones to call that out.
You know what? You know what, Paul? You know what? Matter of fact, that makes sense for him to go over there because remember when they were saying that he had got knocked out in sparring and they were saying that Shakur was taking advantage of him, you know, starting to get the upper hand on him. That's probably when he decided to go.
Well, I mean, I think they always had a plan because he's not going to engage nobody. He's like Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think Canelo won't face David Benavidez? Now, if David Benavidez went in there and got knocked out by David Morrell Jr., he's not going to fight David Morrell Jr. He's going to fight David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Crazy. That's crazy, man.
That's how boxing is going. And these guys, they're acting like, you know, I can't play alone to get along, man. I like real stuff. And, you know, for me, you know, I don't even care if you lose one time, as long as you lose, you know what I'm saying, at the best, you know what I'm saying, when you're at your best, you know what I'm saying,
exactly.
You know, don't go plotting and doing all these, you know, because this is one of the biggest high profile fights, you know. And one thing about Bud Crawford, you know, he would mess up the whole scene. You know what I'm saying? He's like that dude that would come to the fight and a PED pill will fall out his shorts. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's type of dude that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like when we were ready for him to fight everybody back in 2018, everybody was holding their breath. Man, the great Terrence Crawford is going to come over here and beat and get in there with Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, and Sean Porter, and he went right back to damn Top Rank and signed that contract. That's when he first stopped messing up. That's when you first start seeing that this dude was different. And you know, from there, everything just started going downhill with him. You know what I'm saying?
You know, when you said that he'll like drop the PED pill or whatever, that's how I viewed it when he said that when I stop you, they gonna say you was, you know, at the weight class too long. That stood out when he first said that, you know, to Errol Spence. I always kept that in my mind, and I always feel like he told off on himself when he said that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, it's just like, you know, he just don't he go against the grain, you know what I'm saying? So he could do what he want to do. It's almost like a child that throw a tantrum. You know what I'm saying? Or like these females that throw tantrums and stuff, you know, and won't let you get a word in, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
until they just drown you out till they get their way. And that's what it feels like when you're dealing with Bud Crawford or his fans, you know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
just like, you know, they don't care what the reality is. It's just that they just become so annoying that you just, you know, give up. You know what I'm saying? And
Trolling and all that, man.
right. So you just kind of like, you know, hey, you know, so we all about like the reality of the situation, not what you're trying to push, not what you're trying to you know what I'm saying, make boxing to be. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all act like y'all don't see what this guy did at the 147 division. You know what I'm saying? It's like he waited to the end. He let everybody beat each
Yeah.
other up. You know what I'm saying? Then he came to the end, you know what I'm saying, holding on to a belt that's from a lesser champion. He snatched the belt from one of the weakest champions at
Yeah.
147.
And
Right.
held
And
it
then he didn't
hostage.
fight nobody else. He didn't fight nobody else that was champions at the time. So, but they keep running their mouth like he did. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, what are you talking about? You know, we
Hey, you
sitting
know
here.
what?
Mhm.
I asked the brother about that. I said, Errol Spence, we know what was going on with Errol Spence. He had the car accident. He had the retina surgery. What was Crawford doing all that time? Because Errol Spence told
He
that
was
he what he
biding his
his what?
time.
Right, right.
He was biding his time because he knew the biggest fight. You know, it's kind of like Sean Porter. Now, see, Sean Porter did it the right way. He kind of held back from fighting Errol Spence Jr. too. But what he did was when he went over there and he saw Errol Spence Jr. fight Kell Brook, he said, this dude is real. You know what I'm saying? But see, if you think about it as an athlete, you can only keep your top performance, you know what I'm saying, for a short period of time. So, you know, Terrence Crawford understands that, you know, to fight at your top form, you know what I'm saying, it takes a whole lot to do that. And but Sean Porter wanted to fight Errol Spence Jr. at his very best. So what he did was he went and trained the shit out of himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He went and got coaches. He
And
got
he
very.
also went to Victor too. Let's not forget that.
He
Mhm.
went to
Sean
Victor.
was also with Snack. Sean was also with
Uh,
Snack.
But
Absolutely.
but look but
Sean
look
and Mikey Garcia.
But look what Sean did versus what Terrence Crawford did, right? You know, Sean went and trained his ass off. He was the best shape of his life and went toe to toe
yeah.
with Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the best fights we ever seen in boxing, and that's what it's all about. Instead of trying to wait for this man to be at his weakest point, trying to be strategic and fight this guy. You know, that's like some Machiavellian shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the down dirty side of boxing that we're looking at. You know, that everybody, they don't want to see a fair, honorable fight. They just want their favorite fighter to
Right,
win.
right.
And it's like that's something that we got to be able to separate because they just want to kind of conflate, say everything together. Oh, y'all just hurt because your favorite fighter got beat. A lot of my favorite
Nah,
fighters
that
got
that don't
beat.
man, that don't mean nothing to me.
Well, I'm just saying, a lot of my favorite fighters got beat. Roy Jones
Yeah,
Jr.
exactly.
Mike Tyson get knocked out. I've seen basically all my favorite fighters get beat, except for maybe Floyd Mayweather. And you know what I'm saying. So for them, saying they're trying to make it act like it's some kind of some kind of personal goal. So but what we want to
Right.
see is real fair fights. We don't want to see, we want to see the best fight the best, and I think they forget about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We want to see the best fight the best at their best, not
Right.
some strategic plan to get by. And then you can see how he's acting after the fact that he's won, that he's trying to exploit the situation. He's trying to make sure he keeps Errol Spence Jr., at a disadvantage. When I think a real champion, looks for the challenge. He want to know that he's the best at their best. He want to know that he's dominant over this guy. And he's not going to let Errol Spence Jr. get that kind of advantage. So it's going to be the onus is going to be on Errol Spence Jr. to accept the position that he's in and just do better at that weight, because Crawford ain't going to be some kind of honorable guy, you know what I'm saying, and try to give him an advantage, by going up to 154. Because if he goes up to 154 and he just fucking knock Crawford out, his fans are going to be devastated because all the shit
Yeah.
that they said is going to be negated. And we know in boxing, You know what I'm saying? It's like, anything can happen. They're trying to write him off, saying based on the performance that he gave. But, if he went up to 154, they know things could be different. So,
But you know what? It could backfire on him too, because even if let's just say Earl Spence able to get the training that he was trying to get in before the rib injury, you know what I'm saying, and he gets to rehydrate properly at 147, we could get the Earl that we've seen that have been already dealing with, you know, you know, Ugas, you know, we could get that Earl at 147. You know what I'm saying? And then he'll be in trouble. He'll be in trouble with Earl.
well, I wish I could just take my car and go over to Blu-ray house and take his ass straight over to Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna pick
That's
him
what
up and drop him off?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a picker. I ain't even drop him off, nigga. I ain't leaving, nigga. I'm saying, hey, nigga, I need 700 push-ups. I need because that's how Blu-ray starts his workouts with Errol Spence Jr. 700 push-ups, my brother. Let's do it. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
But that could be why he's not going back to Blu-ray. It's probably strenuous to him. You know what I'm saying? And if he's
That's what you
having
need
trouble,
to push. That's what you need. You need to, Blu-ray philosophy is that you can't overtrain. There's a lot, I don't know if you've been watching fitness.
yeah, I watch him.
And you can't, I was watching that guy. It's another guy that this dude be pressing up to like 400 pounds. So he do what they call pyramids, and he'll go up. He'll be playing with he'll start out with like 250
right.
pounds, and he'll do pyramids all the way up to like 400 and shit, and then he'll come back down. You know what I'm saying? He says there's no such thing as overtraining. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
But this is what I was saying. This is what I'm saying about that. I agree with you on that, and I've seen him say that. But reason why I say it might be strenuous on him is because he already coming all the way down to 147, and he probably feel weaker at that point. And then he's having to do all the work that your boy Blu-ray trying to get him to do. Now I feel like he would probably be able to handle it more if he was at a higher weight class. Like at 154 or 160 or 168.
But he don't have that kind of power. He don't have the power. Bud Crawford won that fight, so he has the power to call the weight class. So I told you guys in the last year. He said y'all might as well forget 154. Y'all might as well
That's
forget
terrible,
that.
man.
If and it's smart. I mean, if you beat somebody's ass and they can't make the weight, or they drain, or whatever the problem is, and they can't operate at that weight, it will behoove you to pick that weight again where you won and dominated, right? So I understand that, but on the challenger side, as that being your rival, I would want to fight at 154 just to prove that I am the dominant dude, that I am
right.
But they don't care about that. They just want the victory. But we knew that's the kind of champion Terrence Crawford was. You know what I'm saying? He's not the dude.
And Crawford probably was at that weight when they was in that ring. He looked pretty big, man, and that's why I was trying to tell one of my relatives. I'm like, man, if you think about it, man, he got to be on something, because ain't no way in hell he's supposed to came in. He was able to, that's normal for him to come in bigger than the guy that is supposed to be bigger. That's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? And then he's older. How are you getting faster and stronger?
You now, as boxing aficionados, we already know this, and I've been preaching that in my live streams. Every time we go live, I said this man, and we can look at Canelo too. You know what I'm saying? We saw how he looked in the David Avenesian fight. We saw how he looked in all his fights, and all of a sudden he comes out big, faster, stronger. It's like people are like, oh no, that's just how Crawford is. No, nigga, and he's got his punch resistance is on 10. You know what I'm saying? So and then Errol looking the weakest we never seen Errol Spence Jr. look like that in a fight. You know what I'm saying?
It was a shot that Earl caught him with, man. It was so loud, bro, and it didn't even phase Crawford. He didn't flinch at all. It's like he just took it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah, that something ain't right, man. If you look at his eyes, he don't even look right in his eyes, man. Dude look like he high beaming.
And even for Crawford to be like, oh, that's it? Like, really? This man breaks
Right.
bones, and you gonna say, "Oh, that's it"? Like that's
But
telling in itself.
I don't think Errol Spence Jr. was himself. I don't think he had. When you weight drain, bro, your strength ain't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you drain, bro, you weak. Didn't y'all hear Errol say he was tired? You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah. I heard
saying?
that.
Didn't y'all? When have y'all ever heard Errol Spence Jr. say he was tired in the fight? When have you ever seen?
That was like the first or second round. After the first or second round, I think I heard him say
Even
that.
even after the car accident, when he was tired against Danny Garcia, you seen him take a break. You almost seen him put his hand on his knees. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He still was able to push through, you know what I'm saying, the tiredness. You know what I'm saying? That's part of him being almost done with that weight division. You know what I'm saying? So, it affect when your stamina is affected, everything is affected. You know what I'm saying? Your
Right.
strength, your speed, you know what I'm saying? You're lethargic. You know what I'm saying? And Terrence Crawford is the wrong person to not be in your best shape, because that's just,
Right.
fitness and
Well, it
um
almost seems as though Terrence Crawford wouldn't take the fight unless he was gonna be that way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
That's
what it
what it
seems
right.
was.
like to
That's
me.
exactly what it is.
But that's what it was. That's the strategic plan. That's how Spence got outsmarted in this fight. You know what I'm saying? He got outsmarted outside the ring, the preparation. And, said Bud knew he had to be big and stronger in this fight. That's why he went and aligned himself with the dude that could get that done. You know what I'm
They
saying?
have they have a hatred towards PBC fighters, man, and I think Errol Spence is one of the main ones that him and Bomac have a disdain for, man, and so Errol cannot think that this man is going to give him a fair one, because you could tell clearly that he hates the brother, man. I think he really has a hate in his heart towards him, man. To put on those type of gloves and do him like that, and then try to catch him while he's weight drain, and then now you see him trying to come up at 154. You just seen him say that he going up to 154. He done already put it on and changed his page and saying that he done went up there, and then now you're gonna make him try to come back down. You know what I'm saying? That he has a disdain for that brother, man, a jealousy and a hatred towards the man. I think that that type of feeling toward a person, he'll do anything, man. He'll do anything to him.
But is it because you're not willing to put in the work like Earl did? Because you could have went to PBC.
Cause
I
it's
don't
because he wants to be
understand it.
treated. He wants to be treated like Arrow. Because remember he said that
Yeah.
they didn't respect him as a champion. They were saying that he kept on saying nobody respected him as a champion. They overlooked him. No, just didn't want to play these games that you like to play. They didn't want to deal with Bob Arum or whatever. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think that he want to be so bad. He wants to be respected and loved so bad like Earl. But see, people don't realize we like Earl. A lot of us like Earl not just because of his fighting, but his character. It's how he conduct himself, man. That has people supporting him.
Well, with that, and saying any fighter, and I'm talking about any fighter. I'm talking about David Benavidez. I'm talking about Deontay Wilder. Look, he went and lost and got knocked out by Tyson Fury. But look how he did it. Say he went in there like a man,
Right.
and he fought that man no matter what the situation was. Wilder is fighting guys he knows that are juiced up. I mean, he's fighting against guys that getting busted with juice every other day. And
Right.
I think Errol Spence Jr. is cut from that cloth where what it's going to be, what it's going to be. So, and you kind of sense that when you fight Errol Spence Jr., you can do what you're going to do, but I'm going in here, with everything I got to fight you. And you kind of
Right.
sense that, with Crawford, you kind of, he's strategic, he's all about his image. That's all he cares about, getting the victory, being a troll to the fans and, not really putting himself, not taking the risks that he should have took in his career, acting like, he didn't have the fighters, the opportunity to fight these guys. And
Right.
all that stuff just kind of, you look at him and it's like, you just look at him like he's just a weird, superficial dude,
Man, I'm ready for him to just retire, bro. I just want him out of there, man. Real talk.
That's because, if you fight top competition, you're going to lose at some point.
Right.
But he's not putting himself in that position. He's just going for the strategic victories. And, as a pure boxing fan, you understand this, it's like, you can't like really give him the full respect. Love the
Right.
skills. Love the
And it's
skills.
odd. It's also odd that we feel this way, or at least me. I feel this way about Tyson Fury
Yeah.
And I seen an interview with Espinoza saying that Kinahan was not good for boxing. And
Yeah.
looking at all of this is probably why.
Yeah.
This is probably why. Like, look what's going on. It's a circus out here, man. Like, Fury just dropped the belt. Crawford, you undisputed at 147. Just drop the belt. Like, let's move on. Why
Right.
are y'all dragging
Well,
this
I
out and
mean,
running around bullshit? I mean,
well,
BS.
I mean, well, if you're not gonna fight Danny Garcia, but not Danny Garcia because he's up at 160. I'm talking like Keith Thurman. If you're not gonna fight the guys
And
that,
Keith Thurman is a mandatory, I believe.
well,
Yeah,
I'm just
he
saying,
That's
is.
like,
Yep, he
very
is.
strategic. That's very
Yep.
strategic. Him saying he's not gonna fight him.
right,
Very
and
strategic.
that's why they put that. That's why they always putting out these disclaimers. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to take those risks. You know, you're not going to fight Booth Sanders, who deserves a shot. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence Jr., if he was petty, you know what I'm saying, against Crawford, you know what I'm saying, he didn't have to give him an opportunity. You know, but this is why he's so loved, because he did give Bud Crawford the opportunity to fight. He's been trying to fight Bud for a long time. You know what I'm saying? They just
Right.
been biding their time trying to come up with a game plan just to beat this dude. And you know, he even admitted it. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
He even
you cheated the people's champ, bro. That's not
Yep.
gonna get you more
Yep.
love. That's not
Yep.
gonna get you more love. I don't know what you thinking, what your team is thinking. I don't know, but if respect is what you're trying to get, it can't be, because you're not being respectable. So you can't be trying to get respect from the boxing world. If
Yep.
you don't care, then don't care. Stop having
right.
people hop on the channels and trying to defend you and saying you great and you can't be doing this. No,
Oh,
you're
oh, oh,
not being respectful.
and you know something too, you guys. Remember, you know how he be saying that they try to blackball him. He's not mentioning that the reason why they did him the way they did him is because they were trying to make sure he didn't have no ties with what's his name, Cunningham or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he won't mention that. That's the only reason why did stall him out in the beginning, because they wanted to make sure he didn't have no ties with that man. You see what I'm saying? He's not speaking on that. They wasn't trying to be malicious towards you, because one thing about the PBC fighters, they like getting their money. You know what I'm saying? If it's gonna get some money to them, they gonna fight them people, man. You know what I'm saying? They gonna fight whoever they gonna fight in order to get that money. Now I could say that Thurman did stall Spence out, but I think eventually he would have fought him.
Look here. It's about resources, right? It's like, think about it. Because all that stuff that Fury used, you know what I'm saying? We know he used PEDs and stuff like that.
Right.
So, you know, we knew Bud Crawford went over there and talked to them guys. So if this is just my conspiracy theory. Now, if you know that they got something in tactics, you know what I'm saying, they use, and if you team up and say, hey, man, I'm going to give you 25% of whatever, you know what I'm saying, my victory is, hey, what did you use to beat Deontay Wilder? You know, we need
Right.
some of that. You know what I'm saying? And he went over there. What the hell was Crawford going over there talking to Fury them about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What was he going over there to? He was picking up resources and tricks and trades. You know, so they are trading secrets of how to get by these big fights. So if you think
Yeah, yeah,
fighters,
and he was going for he even admitted that he was going for Tyson Fury.
but I'm just saying, yeah, that's to get in. He had to make a relationship with them guys so they can trade some trade secrets. You know what I'm saying? Or how to
Right.
get, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's loading your gloves, it's all kind of shit that these camps, you know, some dabble in. You know what I'm saying, to get the advantage in the fight. And all that matters is the win. You know what I'm saying? Because once you beaten, you know what I'm saying, people are not trying to hear that shit. You know, they don't care if you had brass knuckles in your gloves. They don't care if you had
Right.
juice. They don't give a damn. Once you beaten, you beaten. And Crawford understands that. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's not going to give Errol Spence Jr. a chance to have any advantage in this fight. You know what I'm saying? I told you guys, 154 is out of the question for Terrence Crawford. Because think about it, even if he's on juice, if you had a fully charged Errol Spence Jr., he might be able to overcome that. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
might be his work rate and everything, having his full power behind him. He don't want to face that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for me, you know what I'm saying, they're going to really have to have somebody, you know, outside sanctioning body, you know what I'm saying, to test these guys, or, you know, see what's going, because they know what's on the test. You know, it's almost like if you know what to look for, and you know what not to take. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, to pass the stick. Because you got Victor Conte, he's a scientist. He knows
And
what he. Go ahead.
and if you listen to Victor, because I've been watching a ton. Listen, Victor is a very. If you're in the nutrition, sports training, I implore you to study Victor and listen to his theories on things. But Victor is basically saying that the powers that be aren't even really interested like that in catching people using steroids. I mean,
Mm.
they wanted to appear that way, but like he said, they not sending these results to sanctioning bodies. They sending them to the promoters.
But you know
So
what?
what is
It's clear.
that doing?
That I agree totally with because it's very clear at the simple fact that what he went to jail for, they allow him to get out, and he shouldn't have be able to. Cause see, look, if I went to jail for having a firearm, do you think they gonna let me come back out with the rights to get another firearm? You see what I'm saying? He shouldn't
Right.
even be nowhere near. He shouldn't be nowhere near in the same field at all, bro. He
He
shouldn't
should
even
be
be allowed to
nowhere
be.
near no sport unless
Yeah,
it's bodybuilding.
yeah.
Well,
Why didn't he go to bodybuilding? Why did he come to boxing? Why didn't you
I'm,
go where steroids is legal?
well, I'm gonna tie it in like this because all of a sudden, Bomac got a gun in his bag going through Manchester.
Right.
So they must be didn't pay them people for the shit
Exactly.
that they must be didn't pay them people for the knowledge that they gained. Uh, and
Y'all
this
want to
is
hear
my
my conspiracy theory on that?
I
go
do.
ahead.
I
This,
do.
this, this, okay, here we go. Here we go. I think that because I heard Bob Arum was about to make the fight with Errol Spence, and
Oh yeah, I
then
heard that too.
Terrence Crawford left and made the fight with Errol Spence on his own.
Mm.
And
Trying to
you
cut
know,
Bob out.
Bob is tied to all kind of criminal. Every time I hear a story about Bob, I mean, I think he was in trouble with Congress and all kind of stuff. So did he run off and on some criminal organization when Bob was about to make the fight with Spence and then keep all the money for himself? Did they not want Bomac over there fooling around with those fighters? Because they were upset that Eubank won that fight. If you go
Yep.
watch some of the UK channels, they were upset that he won that fight. And they were talking smack about Bomac. So I don't know if they
Got a
may
lot
be
of
holding
backing. Yeah,
Bomac
yeah.
hostage. And maybe they telling Terrence, hey, you got to take this fight at 147. Like, I don't know. But they're involved in so much things that's suspicious that it could be any of those things. But I really do think he ran off on Bob and made that Spence fight on his own. And I think this may be that may be the result of that. And also Bomac over there fooling with Eubank. I
It's
don't know.
it's something going on because I mean I just don't buy the fact that Bomac put a gun in his suitcase and got busted because anybody knows or anybody who ever flown before know that these people are checking for liquids and
Right.
bottles. You can only take so much, and you damn sure know you can't take no damn weapon through no damn airport. Everybody knows that you can't take a
Right.
sword, you can't take a knife. You know what I'm saying? You can't take nothing through the airport like that. So he was
And
definitely, I
guns
think,
are banned in the UK.
right.
So that's wild.
I
That's
heard the
wild.
police had stopped him and was harassing Eubank and him from what I heard.
And, so they see you coming, and McKinahan, that's his playground right there. If he got any secrets, and what I'm saying, anything was promised and it just didn't fall through. Boxing is this dirty, y'all. I know y'all hearing saying, man, we pushing narratives and all that, but I'm just telling you that behind the scenes, something was different, something was off. What I'm saying, with this whole Crawford camp, the way they move, the way they made these relationships with these mafia figures and making relationships with Victor Conte. These are cheaters. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Talking to Tyson Fury. These are cheaters. You want to keep yourself as clean as possible. You want your image to be as clean as possible. And then, looking at Errol Spence Jr.'s side, you know what I'm saying? The man didn't look nothing like Errol Spence Jr. People are saying, I saw one video where the guy was talking about brain injuries, and he went deep into the science of Errol Spence Jr. brain is rearranged in his head and shit. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, God dang. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, man, that man was just drained. Everybody knew that he was done with the weight class, and when you're like that, then you're not going to be able to perform at your best. And
Right.
Crawford was masterful and waiting. You know, what I'm saying putting just putting enough propaganda out there that everybody's ducking him. Everybody, you know, what I'm saying everybody's scared of him. You know, what I'm saying he fought safe fights to go knock out people who wasn't qualified to be in the ring with him. You know, what I'm saying Sean Porter at the end of his career, Kell Brook at the end of his career. You know, could Terrence Crawford really beat the Kell Brook that Errol Spence Jr. fought? You know what I'm saying? I don't think many people could.
Nobody is saying that Crawford's best wins are people Spence already beat.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep. And those guys that Crawford fought, and when you really think about it, he had no good reason to be fighting them because they didn't have no titles.
Well, think about this too. Errol Spence Jr. was his easiest fight. You know what I'm saying? That was his easiest fight. Does that make sense? Green Machine did
Not
better.
at all. Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Think about it. They don't, that's how you know they're disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? That like they don't really want to look at these things. You know what I'm saying? They know Errol Spence Jr. is the best fighter that Bud Crawford ever fought. So, but this man coming there with super strength, you know what I'm saying? He coming there with super size. He coming there, you know what I'm saying, with super speed at the age of 35. Now we
Yep.
just saw a 35-year-old in the ring last night. But Masito Gasca, that's 35 years old. That's what 35-year-old look like. I don't even
Yep.
care. Even Floyd Mayweather wasn't looking like when he was 22, when he was 35. He looked skillful, you know what I'm saying, but he didn't have extra power. You know what I'm saying, when he fought Manny Pacquiao. He didn't have extra speed when he fought Manny Pacquiao. He just looked like a knowledgeable, skillful fighter that picked his spots. You know what
You
I'm
know
saying?
what? The only way you can give Crawford the credit for looking like that is if you say that he hasn't had any good fights, no challenges throughout his career, then you can't have it both ways. You can't say he been through wars and then he come out looking like that. You know what I'm saying? It make more sense that he didn't have no wars and he's still damn near a fresh fighter because he ain't really had no fights like that, no challenges like that. That's the only way I can give him that.
hmm
But
Well,
it's the fact that it's his easy. This is what raises the suspicion over everything else. This was his easiest fight.
Yeah.
Earl Spence will never ever. I don't care uh, position he's in. He will never be nobody's easiest fight. So you have to know
Right.
something was up. That's all we saying, man. Something was up,
uh,
and y'all want to say, "Oh no, Terrence Crawford just made him look like that." How come he never made anybody else look like that?
At all.
well, Charles said, I'm 60 years old. How you doing, sir? Salute to you. He said, boxing been corrupt for sport forever. He said, all this over Errol Spence Jr. loss. I think, yeah. I mean, I think it's worth the discussion. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I think
we
people
don't talk about it. Why do people want us to be
right.
quiet? First of
It
all,
ain't
we
it
waiting
ain't
on the
just over
rematch, and we gonna keep talking about it because
right.
we still not done with it. We still not done with it, so we're gonna keep talking about it.
And it ain't
It's
just
another
over
fight
Errol
coming up.
Spence
We still
loss.
promoting the fight. We still promoting the fight. Now more people are probably gonna watch the second fight because they feel like something could have been going on with Earl. But if the fight is at 147, you're gonna not have the interest in the fight that people really want.
This
What's going
conversation,
on,
this same
PGA Big
conversation.
Dog? I
I'm sorry.
just hollering out PGA Big Dog in the building. What's going on, my brother? Salute to you. Yeah, we're gonna have the discussion, you know what I'm saying? That's the good thing about having your own channel. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You want to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Because this is what we're thinking. You want to know what the boxing fans are thinking. And believe it or not, a lot of these writers, and you can look at the articles because they're weak as hell. You know, so they're not journalist students because they be misspelling words and you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You be like, and the grammar be all jacked up. And I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? So
Like
they
did
be
a robot write this article?
right. So, they be coming to these, they be in the chat, you know what I'm saying, just seeing what the fans think. So, I have no problem with discussing it. It's not going to
But
change the results, but,
but you
it
know
is what
what?
it is. Mhm.
This conversation was the same conversation that was had when Wilder went through what he went through, when
Right.
with Miguel Cotto went through what he went through. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? When he was cheated, you know what I'm saying? Anytime it's gonna be some cheating because see, if we sit back and don't say anything, it's gonna keep constantly happening and going unnoticed and unchecked. You see what I'm saying? So I think we should speak on it. We should constantly speak on it, man. You know what I'm saying? It happened to Broner. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say it happened to Broner is because if you're using those MX gloves and your opponent doesn't have those MX gloves on, then it's cheating. You know what I'm saying? Let's both use those gloves then. You see what I'm saying? I consider it cheating if both people ain't using the same gloves and you got a pair that's really thin and worn, and I got a brand new fucking pair. I'm sorry, a brand new pair that's thick or whatever, and full with padding, and you got this with this little thin layer of padding with horsehair in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I consider that cheating. And even Floyd, it's a video when Floyd busted Marcos Maidana doing it. He said, no, what we not gonna do is cheat each other. So if Floyd called it cheating, we should call it cheating.
Yeah, and that fight messed Broner up for real, man. That was
Yep.
that was one of Broner's best fights, but that fight messed Broner up.
He ain't been the same since then.
And you know, it's like boxing is a catch me if you can type sport. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, because once you go in there and you get Falumaloom, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you got to catch these things. You know, nobody caught Margarito, you know what I'm saying, until Richardson, Nazim Richardson caught them gloves. But everybody's like, oh, man, Margarito, man, he is a beast. He is out here just destroying people. You know what I'm saying? Then when he got those raps, you know, you know, they even said that about Felix Trinidad. You know, so they even said that about his hand wraps. They had to catch him, you know what I'm saying, with his hand wraps and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And so this stuff, you know, people acting like it's just a skill thing. But, man, we really got to have a situation now. You know, if a dude going to cheat, they will cheat. If they can get away with it, they're going to cheat. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain fighters, you know, they don't want a fair fight. They don't want to test themselves. They don't want to have a 50-50 fight. You know what I'm saying? They want to go in there and they want to have any kind of advantage that they can because their reputation's on the line. They got family, friends, you know what I'm saying? They talking crap over the net. So if I can go with a snack or if I can go get some undetectable thing to help increase my performance, you think they ain't going to do it? You know what I'm saying? Now, you have certain fighters that got the integrity, and you get the sense that Errol Spence Jr. is one of those guys that'll fight you, you know what I'm saying, even, you know what I'm saying, regardless. Because he just has this you know, by fighting everybody in the division, by putting himself on the line, taking the risk, you know what I'm saying, you just look at how humble he is. But then you look at the way Crawford moves, you know, just arrogant, talking shit, you know what I'm saying, calling people gay and all, you know, just different derogatory, you know, just a ghetto snipe type of personality. And you look at what happens in his fights and how he moves, you can tell what side is probably cheating and what side isn't. You know,
but you know, he does that more towards the fans than he do towards fighters, though. He's more aggressive towards fans than he is to fighters.
His own fans at that. Crawford will fight his own fans. That is weird.
It's almost like if you know you're a despicable, you know, so people sense that you're despicable, you have despicable character. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna strike out at those people because they don't like you because they sense your shitty spirit. And you know what I'm saying? So he's never gonna be loved on the level of Errol Spence Jr. because of his personality. You know what I'm saying? And the way he moves, he understands how people sees him. And he hates it, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of his fans, they like that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we live in the most toxic society I've ever seen. And maybe because of social media, you know, we just get to see more of how rotten people are. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, so that the trolling is continuous, you know what I'm saying, on the Crawford side because, you know, they know what this dude is not trying to fight all comers. If that was the case, he would be trying to fight Boots.
And I wish people would quit. I ain't trying to cut you off. I see somebody in the chat saying he never failed a drug test. That is not a valuable argument, bro. Like, stop saying that. What does that mean that he's never failed a drug test? It doesn't mean anything.
Manny Pacquiao never failed a drug test.
Right, I was just going to say that.
Nothing. The guy specializes in undetectable steroids. He will not test positive. And you know what I think going on, Paul? I don't even think that Victor, I think he may be designing drugs that aren't on the ban list yet. So it's a gray area there. Because if it's not on the ban list, then I can use it. Of course, you won't test positive for some stuff that I didn't chemically put together that mimics what
Right.
this drug does, and it's not on the list. So no, you're not gonna test.
Well, when you know what the drug list is, you know what I'm saying, that's the whole hilarious
When you
part of
write
it.
the protocol for the,
Yeah,
he write the
yeah,
protocol for the
right.
testing.
So
Yeah.
what does a drug? That's why we need outside agencies, you know what I'm saying, to test these guys. And like you were saying, if they're not really trying to catch these guys, you know, so then it's not gonna happen anyway. If they,
You
if,
know,
you know, mhm.
I was going to say, I heard that drug that he was using, he was having them use drugs that once they get on it and cycle off of it, they still have the effects from it. They're still able to have the benefits from the effects of it without it
Right.
actually being in their system no more. So yeah, it's not going to show up in
Yeah.
there.
Well,
And
that's
you
why
keep
Canelo.
80% of the strength you gain on. Like, let's say I'm working out on steroids, I'm doing a cycle, I'm gonna keep 80 to 85% of what I gain.
Right.
Well, it's kind of like Canelo. That's why it's so important for him to know when and what time he's fighting. He sets the terms, so he can use all the steroids he wants, and then cycle off and don't have to worry about getting busted. Even Victor
Yeah.
Conte talked about how to beat the test in England. He talked about how those guys are used to cycling off. He talked about how you can do it. I forgot what article that was. If you look up Victor Conte and you look up how to beat the steroid test, he tells you how you can beat it. You know what I'm
And
saying? By
also, the
cycle.
reason why I came up with the theory I just had is because I was watching an interview with Victor Conte, and he was basically saying how one of the fighters was using something that speeds their heart rate up and how dangerous it was, but it wasn't on the ban list, I believe. And he was trying to tell one of the heads of one of the sanctioning bodies that, okay, this needs to be on the list, and they didn't want to add it to the list.
Mm-hmm. What's going on,
That,
Just Do Boxing in the building? What's going on, Justin? I just want to holler him out. Go ahead, Queen.
yeah, that's what I was saying. So, I mean, I don't know. Like it's he knows what's up. He knows what these people are using. He knows what's showing up in the test. He's writing the protocol for the testing. He's telling
Hmm.
the sanctioning bodies, "Hey y'all, this is a new drug that they use and they haven't discovered it yet. Add it to the list," and they not listening.
Well, to Clarence Tom, you said, do this panel really believe that Bud Crawford was on steroids? I think he used and got the benefits to get the size. I think all fighters, you know what I'm saying, not use supplements, but there's certain supplements that give you more. Just like Oscar Valdez got busted. You know what I'm saying? I think they use stuff to either lose weight effectively, to what I'm saying, so they can
That's
operate
what
at a high.
Michelle Rivera got busted for, a weight loss
Right,
ban
right.
supplement.
I,
Either
It
it's
I,
wasn't
I,
weight
steroids.
loss. Either, like even Roy Jones Jr. used steroids. So, what I'm saying, I don't understand why they think that this is something that's
because
out of the.
because because Crawford fans believe that WWE is still real. They believe that that's real. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's why they can believe that there's no steroids in boxing.
Oh, they know. I mean, you got to know that, bro. Because if you're 35 years old, yeah, you can look exceptional, but you're going to see some kind of decline. This guy still looked like he was 21 in the ring. You know what I'm saying? He still looked like he was 21 years old, bro. You know what I'm saying? We've never seen that kind of except for maybe Manny Pacquiao, still looking like they're young men. Better be, it's like a select handful few that's operating like they were 21 at 35 in their late 30s and or mid 30s. You know what I'm saying? So that alone is suspect. You still moving like move like it. I mean, I was 35 at one time, and I wasn't dunking. I was an athlete. I was playing basketball, all that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just common sense. You know what I'm saying, that this dude was doing something extra. You know what I'm saying? And then, Errol Spence Jr. has been through a lot of wars. You know what I'm saying? He's been through a lot of wars. You know what I'm saying? When you fight everybody, that's not always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? For you when you're starting to approach the end of your career. Look at Canelo. He looks like an old man in the ring. You know
Man,
what I'm saying? 'Cause
Canelo gonna come in there looking like Crawford. That's my
yeah, yeah.
other issue with the Charlo fight too. Like, I don't know what Canelo gonna have going on, man.
hmm Well, I mean, if he come in there and he's throwing like 60, 70 punches, or 100 punches around, you already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Or he got that extra power. He's punching holes in people's rib cages. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's knocking over buffaloes. You already know what time it is.
I
You
wish
And
know
I
what I'm
heard
saying?
Jamel had
Pacquiao coming
a.
back too. I heard
I
Pac
wish
coming back
Jamel had a
too.
tune-up.
Well, yeah, but you know, Jamel is just so happy to get the bag. You know, I was watching the All Access, and I didn't like what I saw. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like, you know, I love that, you know, saying that he's with his family, but he's not locked in. You know, he's spending time with his son. And I'm not saying like that's not a great thing as a father, but as a fighter, you know what I'm saying, and you fighting the biggest fight of your career, you know what I'm saying, you got to get away from that, man. You got to get that mean, you know what I'm saying, so you can push yourself beyond your limits because it may come to that fighting Canelo. I'm like looking at, he's talking about his family, he's talking about generational wealth. That's what Errol Spence Jr. was talking about, generational wealth. And I was like, yeah, man, I feel you on that, bro. You know, so but right now we're talking about the fight. We're talking about, you know what I'm saying, what strategy you're gonna go in there and use to beat Canelo Alvarez, you know what I'm saying? So you know there's a lot on the line. Everybody's been comparing these two guys ever since 154. And you know, say for him to be, oh, you know, say this is about family, this is about da 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 da. I say, bro, that's not the Jamel Charlo that we know. That's not the Jamel Charlo that we've seen over the past, the one who became undisputed at 154. You know what I'm saying? We want to see that old Jamel, that mean Jamel, and I'm not feeling it, bro. I just feel like something is off. It's almost like he's just happy to make a huge payday and look like it's almost like a script has already been written for Canelo to win. And I hate to say that, but all this respect and, you know, mutual respect. Hey, he's just a great champion. I'm not saying go out there and act like a clown. I'm saying just show some passion. You know what I'm saying? Show some passion that you really hungry to win this fight. And I'm not seeing that. You know what
You
I'm saying? I'm
think
seeing that
you think
you know,
Derek James is rubbing off on them with that with his beliefs and stuff like that?
nah,
Well,
nah.
no, on the boxing
I don't think
outlet,
that Buddha crap. Mm.
on the
Go
boxing
ahead.
outlet, Ross called his Ross knows his bodyguard, and so he called his bodyguard, and it kind of made sense what he said. He just was saying that Charlo is focused and he's not in the spirit of chaos, and he knows it's his big moment, and you know he was saying things like that, and it's like cool, I get it. But you know, we want that overly emotional Charlo with their head cocked to the side, with that mean pout face on, talking noise. Like that's what we want to see. Like sell the fight. If above anything, sell the fight
Hmm.
because
You
it's
know,
been
so
so quiet.
well, he was talking about something about they're going to be you know, it's a style change or it's an image change. I guess, you know, they look at Canelo like he's classy or something. Canelo ain't classy. You know what I'm saying?
Please.
Canelo ain't classy. He's just famous. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
because he
They just
Mexican and wears silk shirts, he classy.
right.
It be some
Or they
ugly
put,
shirts though, man.
you know, or could you imagine Jamel out on a golf course with a polo shirt on? You know what I'm saying? Of course they're trying to change his image, you know what I'm saying? And I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, you're a rich guy, you know what I'm saying? You're an older guy, you're a father. But we're looking at the fighter side. We want to see that warrior side right now. You know what I'm saying? We want to see you, you know, just like when he was with Tony Harrison, that's what we want. You know what I'm
Oh, and
saying?
yeah,
When he
and when he was finna fight old boy, what's his name? Costa Zoo?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Castaño,
You mean
uh,
Tim's you know Tim's.
Ti- yeah, Tim
Castaño.
Zoo. Yeah, Tim Zoo.
Yeah, I was
When
like,
he
God damn, Costa Zoo back? You know?
yeah, no, his Tim Zoo. I mean, when he was getting ready to fight him, his attitude towards him was like, you know, he was ferocious, man. You know what I'm saying? Before he
Yeah.
hurt his hand, and he was talking to him, he was dealing with him. He was ready to go in. I thought he was gonna fight him in the interview.
Yeah, I kind of see
Let's
him
see.
sparking up a little bit, like when he was I think it was the All Access, he was rocking back and forth. It seems as though he's trying to keep himself contained. I will give him
Mm,
that.
right, right.
It seems as though he's trying to keep himself contained. That's what I'm getting from him.
But you know, everybody's like tripping because they act like they don't see the circumstantial evidence you know what I'm saying, around Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? They just blind. Everybody's whistling, you know what I'm saying, with their lips up in the air like they don't see, you know what I'm saying? You can get convicted off of circumstantial evidence. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
So I'm just letting people know, if you know what I'm saying, if you in the pond with a duck and you swimming with ducks, you know what I'm saying, you quacking like a duck, you know what I'm saying, you eating the bread from the people like a duck, guess what? You know, so people are gonna assume you're a duck.
Yeah,
You know
we've
what I'm
been
saying?
getting judged like that for years. You know what I'm saying? Why should we view things like that?
Right. So, I'm just saying, like, they act like circumstantial evidence isn't a thing. If I see you creeping out at night at 12 o'clock and you go into abandoned houses coming out, you know what I'm saying, with bags and stuff, and you're gonna act like you don't see that. Hey, that man is a crackhead, or he's selling
Right.
dope, he's doing something. You know what I'm saying? You may not be doing it, but you know what I'm saying? But why are you creeping out at 12 at night? And you know what I'm saying? You going up in there and you exchanging money and you exchanging, this and that. And you know what I'm saying? You coming back home with your eyeballs, you know what I'm saying, bulged out, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden the TV missing, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh man, he ain't doing nothing, man. He just wanted to sell the TV to the pawn shop. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Can you find the receipt? You know what I'm saying? Where he sold the TV, you know what I'm saying? Can I see some, circumstantial evidence is a thing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's big. He's not going to come out and tell you that he's using something or that he cheated. He's not going to do that. You're just going to have to look at the results. You know what I'm saying? If a man come in there with more strength than he ever had, a man come in there with more speed, and he's an old dude. I forgot. We got to stop cussing. If he, you know what I'm saying? And
And he
just
never denied using anything. He just said you're not gonna find it in him. That's all he said.
right.
He
You know
never
what I'm saying? So,
denied using it.
and that's despicable in itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just never comes off as an honorable cat. And you don't have to be an honorable guy. Some people like that kind of scumbag behavior. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? People like that kind of toxicity. That's the era we live in now. I just come from the old era where, you know what I'm saying, I want my champion to fight everybody. I want my champion
Right.
to challenge himself. You know what I'm saying? And
And, and
that's why
and you don't have to always be a winner all the time just to get my support. You know what I'm saying? If you could lose, I'm still a fan of Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying?
it's a keep
Losing doesn't
Charles.
make you lose fans. They weren't really. If you lose fans because you lost, they weren't fans anyway. Losing
Right.
does not make
They're
you
not. They're
lose
not
fans.
boxing fans. They're not boxing fans. Because people don't believe this. That I used to like Bud Crawford a lot. You know what I'm saying? He started letting me down when he stayed at the PBs at top rank, and that's when I started seeing he was a different kind of champion. He wasn't in the same vein of a Sweet Pea. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't in the same vein of a Roger Mayweather. He wasn't in the same vein of a Roy Jones Jr. Maybe he is in the same vein of a Roy Jones Jr. because of the steroids. But he's not in the same vein where he want to fight the best, what I'm saying, at their best.
Right.
And that's the difference, what I'm saying. That's why he don't receive the love. Charles Thomas says again, he says boxing been corrupt forever. What you're going to do, what you're going to do, all you can do is talk about it and keep the sport alive. And that's what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what we're saying, what I'm saying, we can't change anything. So you guys got to chill, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to speculate on what we're thinking. So, you know what I'm saying? So we can't change the results. And, but for me, you know what I'm saying, it's just kind of sad. I just think Crawford could have done better in his career. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have to take this victim status if he just would have, went the traditional route and fought everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of moving around and trying to pick his spots of when to fight somebody. And I don't think Errol Spence Jr. was such a dominant figure where he couldn't give him a fair one. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
don't think he was such a dominant. I think Bud legitimately had skills that could have beaten or outboxed Errol Spence Jr. I just think that he felt like if he probably felt inferior, and this probably felt like he had to do something, something to give him that edge, to give him that confidence, to come out there with a net on his pants. You know what I'm saying? Because goddamn well, it ain't nobody facing Errol Spence Jr. with that much confidence, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It ain't nobody coming out there, thinking they could beat Errol Spence Jr. like that, you know what I'm saying, without an edge, you know what I'm saying, without just like Tyson Fury did against Deontay Wilder, you know what I'm saying? It's like he came out there with all that confidence. Now god dang well, Deontay Wilder is a warrior that's gonna go all out. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got an edge, you know what I'm saying? And these guys that get on this stuff, they know they got an edge. So
Hey,
that's
you,
mhm.
I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
you know what was weird to me is that how was Tyson able to take that Fury was able to take get knocked out the first fight, and then the other two fights, he's like his punch tolerance was like all the way high, like he could take everything that Wilder was giving out after that. I just thought that was weird. And then when you look at Jamel against Harrison, Harrison was consistent where he really just couldn't take the power of Jamel. You see what I'm saying? That looked more
Mhm.
realistic to me. But with Tyson Fury, I was always wondering like, how the hell you go from getting dropped twice, you know what I'm saying, in the first fight to just
Right.
assuming like you could just take every punch that he's giving out now. That was weird to me.
Well, I mean, look at Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is the biggest man in boxing.
Yeah,
He
he is
is. He
huge.
is. He's a damn Nephilim when it
Michelin
comes
man.
to. Yeah, I mean, he's a throwback from when they first destroyed the world. You know, what I'm saying guys was probably that. You had fallen angel children that big. You know what I'm saying? So he's the biggest.
Right.
He's the biggest dude in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And he still be cheap.
That's
You know what I'm
real
Yeah,
saying?
talk. Real
yeah.
talk. Because he ain't got no power like that. He a big dude
Right.
and he can move, but he ain't got no power.
But
Yeah.
think about it. What guy that size can move like that and for that many rounds if he ain't on something? Say look at
Yeah.
Big Baby. Look at Big Baby. Um, what is it? Big Baby Miller, I think. The fat one with the. You know, I knew something was up with him because he was fat, that big, throwing that many punches. You know what I'm saying? This is the circumstantial evidence I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? When you see people doing these things, you know what I'm saying? You see Fury up on his toes, you know what I'm saying, moving around like he's 147. Come on, bro.
And he was licking blood. He licked blood off of Wilder too. Like that was you got to be on something. What was your mind at to think to lick some blood off somebody? Like that's crazy to me.
Well, I mean, it's just the extra energy, you know what I'm saying, to move at that heavy weight. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen maybe Muhammad Ali, but Muhammad Ali was 206 pounds. He was 220 pounds. You know what I'm saying? He can move like that. The heavier
Right.
you are, the less you're going to be able to move around like that. And you see Tyson Fury, he's able to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, 6'9", 280 pounds, 290 pounds, or 300 pounds. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
Come
that,
on
that
now.
makes sense. That's probably why we see more of the heavyweights dropping dirty because it takes more energy
Right,
to move around like that. So yeah, that makes sense.
right. You know what I'm saying? So, they could miss me. We've been watching boxing long enough to could see the telltale signs of when somebody's, what I'm saying, using something, right? Shit, when we seen Aaron Pryor versus Aguelo, and he drank from that damn that black bottle, he came out there supercharged. You know what I'm saying? And got right in Aguero ass. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, YouTube. Um, you know what I'm saying? You can tell when somebody is on something, bro. And these
Right.
guys, because they're, we fanatical fans, you know what I'm saying? People are going to believe what they want to believe. They're just not gonna give it. They're not gonna admit that, you know what I'm saying, this man coming in there with extra strength, coming in there moving like he's moving at 35. You know what I'm saying? They're just gonna ignore all that. You know what I'm saying? So, and they don't even care, to tell you the truth. If it came out that Terrence Crawford was on something, they still wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying? They just
Nah.
Yeah, just like some came out about Roy Jones. I mean, it might have been a
right,
big deal then, but now
right.
he's still revered as one of the best boxers.
Right.
But in the Roy Jones Jr. case, the other guy was on steroids too. That was so funny about what was his name, Richardson, that Jamaican guy. I had you look up 2 cents. What was that guy name? Richardson something.
Was it
Yeah, he
Hitchison or whatever? I went back and watched
no
that fight, man. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, but they both was on steroids, bro. You know what I'm saying? He called Roy out on steroids and he was on it too. So, these
That's
guys don't
crazy.
care. These guys don't care, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the pride. It's all about not losing in front of their families, in front of their fans. And I just think of Bud Crawford as a scumbag like that. So he's not gonna fight you straight up. He's not gonna fight you at your best. Say he always going to want that advantage. He's always going to plot and scheme to have the advantage over you. You know what I'm saying? So, like he said, he's the puppet master. Saying he meant that. One thing about Crawford, he tells you everything he's going to do.
Yeah.
Saying he
That's how
puts it out
villains
there.
do. All villains do that. If you watch the little sitcoms and stuff like that with villains in it, man, cartoons, villain they can't help but to tell they plot and they plan, man. They scheme. You know what I'm saying? It's like they itching because their ego wants you to know how great they are. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta tell you what they doing.
Just like Victor
Well,
Conte.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, but we living in times where people like Charles Thompson saying, he said again, boxing been corrupt forever. Everybody's cheating is my point, and I understand that. What I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's like almost like cheating is permitted. I think Tyson Fury was saying like 80% of boxers are on, or what's that? Victor Conte saying that.
There's Victor
Something what
Conte.
Victor Conte said that like 80% of all athletes or boxers are on some kind of supplement. What I'm saying, the illegal supplement. And I just thought that was the saddest statement I have ever heard. Especially when you're talking about fighters that really, really build their careers. Off and do
It's
everything.
any sport, Pool. For real, it's
Mhm.
any sport. And then like think about these people. I just seen somebody in the chat say Conte was connected to Jose Canseco. And so
Yeah,
now you gotta
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
go down
yeah.
the line and think about all the great athletes you knew and think, damn, was they on steroids? I mean, dang, was they on steroids?
yeah. I mean, do you think?
Building super soldiers, building super soldiers. That's what they doing. What he doing?
Yeah, yeah. Well, Victor, he don't have any conscience about saying cheating these sports. What was that guy that rode in the Paris? What's that guy? Lance. Saying that had the bicycle.
Lance Armstrong that
Lance,
overcame the cancer.
right, Lance Armstrong, and he was destroying those Tour de France's. Saying he was leaving they butts in the dirt. Saying every time they had a Tour de France, he was killing them. Saying? And he got by a lot of those events, and then it came out, saying he was on some stuff, saying?
Wow.
And people were just like, they just, hey, they took all they took the credit away from him, but it's like the damage was done at the time. He got the accolades, he got the, saying? He got the love from the people, and everybody thought he was this dominant guy. All along, he's using supplements and using steroids to improve his performance. And I'm just saying, that's how they're cheating the sport. So everybody's thinking these guys are doing things in a natural way, and they're not. What I'm saying? So, you can destroy a guy who's natural, career. You could destroy his real legacy,
Right.
by doing these kind of things. And see, when it comes out, somebody's going to be upset. It's going to come out. Somebody's, because if you that dirty, if you move like that, you know, somebody's going to get upset and expose you. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to
Bomac
have.
might tell on him. There ain't no telling what Bomac
I'm
gonna
just
have to
saying.
do
I'm
or
just saying.
say to get out of that situation.
I'm just saying. He don't get a bag of Doritos. You know what I'm saying? When he want it. You know what I'm saying? Something. The nigga
Cheeseburger.
don't. He don't get a goddamn number 6. You know what I'm saying? When he want it. Hey man, I'm finna tell these people what's up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's gonna be. And people ain't gonna be surprised. That's the thing. Nobody's gonna be surprised. Nobody's gonna be surprised because of the way boxing is. Um, I just sure hate it for Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? Because look like we know these things. Look like Derek James should know these things because he went right across the ring and touched the gloves, right?
I think
Uh,
he's distracted. I think he's too distracted with all those different fighters he got now, and he's not really seeing everything clearly.
I talked about that in a few live streams ago. How distracted is he? you got two of your best fighters. You got Errol Spence Jr. You got Jameer Charlo. You got to give these guys the attention. You can't afford to be training saying a basket case like AJ. Saying an incomplete, saying weirdo like
Oh, why you call
like
AJ
Hey,
a basket case?
and you remember they was picking with Derek James, man. All that could have been to distract him and keep him in his emotions, man, because he acted out of character that whole time during the camp, man. You know what I'm saying? Arguing back and
But
forth with them.
people say that, but they don't understand. Bomac and them been harassing Derek James
No,
though.
no, I,
People,
I I agree. That's what I'm saying. I believe that was a part of the strategy to kind of keep him from really thinking and being on his shit. I'm sorry. On his, on his game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, I agree with that. What I'm saying. But the thing is, you gotta stick with what got you there, and you got to stay. Errol Spence Jr. is why he is there.
Right,
Jamel
right,
Charlo is why he is Trainer of the Year. So
right.
you got just like Canelo trainer. He don't care about nobody else but Canelo. What's his
no,
name?
Eddie Reynoso got other trainers. See, I kind of disagree with y'all on that point
Hmm.
because how this is my thing. I heard Derek in an interview. He said he spends this block of time with this fighter, this block of time with this fighter, right? And
Hmm.
to understand how Earl is and all of that, Earl don't need. Well, I don't think he would want all that attention and stuff like that from Derek James like that
Right,
because
right.
they've been doing it this way. And somebody mentioned how Freddie Roach was training a whole lot of people. Like these trainers, you may not know who they're training, but Eddie
Hmm.
Reynoso is not just following Canelo around all day. Like that's
Right.
not how that's working. He's training several other fighters. It's just that he has high profile fighters, and so as soon as Earl Spence take a loss, they want to start attacking Derek James. Like they start attacking Derek James right away.
Yeah, that was
Like
because
Well, well,
Tarver, Tarver,
well,
Tarver
for me,
started out.
it's for me because Derek James mentioned in other interviews that he don't want to have a lot of guys to train. He said he only wanted a few so he can concentrate on those guys. He mentioned that in the interview. And
Mm.
for him so when he started picking up AJ and then Ryan Garcia and then Errol Spence Jr. had this loss, what I'm saying, yeah, you see how that going, what I'm saying, like he picked up more responsibility and then looked like Errol Spence Jr. had a loss. So you kind of correlate the two to him having more responsibility. I think that's just a natural way of looking at it. I don't think it means that Derek James is a bad trainer. I just think he's got to maybe delegate
No,
say some of the
I definitely think he like the Phil Jackson of coaches in boxing, man. Like I feel like I feel confident in the rematch. You know what I'm saying? Because when the way he made Jamel look in the two rematches that he had, you know what I'm saying? He came back strong. You know what I'm saying? So I'm confident that Arrow could do the same as long as he's healthy.
and in those fights that Charlo lost, he wasn't listening to Derek.
yeah,
He
that's true.
wasn't
Yeah.
listening. He was in there trying to get a knockout or whatever he was trying to do. So I don't know. It's just some type of concerted effort to talk so much trash and make Spence and his team look so bad. Even with Shakur and the whole Frank Martin thing. Oh, Frank a B. Like, why are y'all doing that? Why nobody? You ain't go that hard on Lomachenko.
I think it's all to try to distract that team, man, that camp. That's what I think it is, man. Some of that stuff, these rumors, even with the doctor that came out about Errol Spence and about the car crash and the brain damage. I think that's a lot of that's coming from Terrence Crawford's camp and people that work with him. You know what I'm saying? To kind of like throw wrenches in the game and kind of like cause confusion.
Now let me ask you guys a question. Do y'all think that Crawford is being coached by outside source like Kinahan or somebody who's
I
very cunning?
I think
I
Crawford is
do.
being controlled.
I
Me,
think it's
that's what
about
I
Bo
think
Mack and,
personally.
and somebody else.
I think he's being controlled. Maybe trying not to get exploited for something. I don't know because I don't know. It's just weird how he
He
moves.
don't
I
really
mean,
seem that smart to me for real. I think Bo Mack's the brains behind the scene, and Bo Mack is connected with some people he ain't supposed to be connected with. That's how I see it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, he do seem like he's the black Bob Arum, but not on a like on an accomplished side, just a very cunning dude. That's what Bomac seemed like. He's like a,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, somebody who can, you know what I'm saying, knows how to hustle, you know what I'm saying,
He's
behind
old
the
school.
scenes.
He's old school. You know, he
Yeah.
knows a lot of old school stuff and little tricks because you know what Bob Arum mentioned something about Errol Spence not fighting a lot of left-handers, southpaws and stuff too. So that let me know when I heard him say that they all were probably over on that side strategizing and plotting on that man. You know what I'm saying? And they really when Earl Spence was showing weakness in his personal life, that's when they were really trying to wanting to really fight him. And then when he started being back focused, they started trying to get quiet, and that's when Crawford
Hmm.
started making that noise saying that he didn't need to fight with Earl and all this different stuff. But when he was playing around, everybody seen something in him. Everybody seen something. But as soon as he got serious, they stopped coming at him talking about they seen stuff.
Well, as
And,
soon as
and
he got into that car wreck, I knew that other car wreck where he
hmm
totaled his car. I knew. I said Crawford finna take the fight now. He
Yeah, he
finna take
came
it
right
now.
after that. You ain't lying. He came right after that.
see, and I
Spin the
mean, I
block
don't
again.
see some boxing fans, they can deal with that, you know, so they can accept those terms, fighting a guy when he's not at his best, bro. I
Hmm.
just think that's just, you know what I'm saying, to me, that just kind of suck, you know what I'm saying, for boxing.
Like you said earlier, that's weasel stuff. That's what weasels do.
And even Danny Garcia, so that's why he fought Errol Spence Jr. after the car accident. Because everybody was talking about the car accident,
Hmm.
saying they was talking about how Errol Spence Jr. he's not the same. He's not the same. You know what I'm saying? I could see it in your eyes. Everybody making all these crazy assessments of where Errol Spence Jr. was, and
Yeah, and
um,
that threw Danny Garcia right into a depression that he wasn't able to beat Earl after
Yep.
the car wreck.
Yep.
mhm.
But
and
I think. Go ahead. I'm
mhm.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I was just gonna say, Danny, saying when he was at that fight, say Terrence Crawford, he was at that fight. So, they were sizing him up, saying, and just kind of guesstimating what they need to do to prepare for that fight. And they were looking
Yep.
for that spot. They was looking for that spot. They were waiting that man out to see when how he was moving against Ugas. That was a brutal fight. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence Jr. took a lot of body punishment in that Ugas fight. You know what I'm saying? So he knew he didn't want to fight Errol Spence Jr. while he was active. He knew that. You know what I'm saying? Because, when a man is in his rhythm, a man is, in shape, a man is active, he's going to fight differently than a man that's been out the ring for 16 months.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Differently because he know that Errol Spence Jr. have discipline problems with his weight. So all this stuff is calculated. You know what I'm
Yep. Yep.
saying? All this stuff is playing. And what I'm saying to people is, as a boxing fan, that's all cool in the art of war. But what I want to see is two guys fighting at their best, at their peak. That's what I want. Even though
Yep.
that's not what I'm going to get,
On
that's
an
what I
even
want.
playing field.
Right. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. You can
Yep.
go around, just because Errol Jr. took a loss in the fight, why not run it back at 154 and see these guys, at their best? Even Crawford had a tough time making that weight, but he's not going to allow Errol Spence Jr. to get a foothold on or get his health to the point where he has the advantage. So it's a
Oh,
smart move by Crawford, but it's also a punk move by Crawford.
and another thing, Paul. What I'm starting to really like question is why is it in this day and time all of a sudden nobody wants to see rematches when some of the most legendary fights were rematches?
Because they don't want they're fans of fighters. They're not fan of boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because no say what okay, what if we go back? What if we go back? Got a lot of background, bro. Or
Let
somebody.
me.
Yeah, I don't listen. Yeah, okay, there you go. What if Errol Spence Jr. come back and decimate Bud Crawford? You know what I'm saying? Now they got to go back to their channels and they got to, what I'm saying? They got to admit, what I'm saying, that, Errol Spence Jr. is actually, better than they thought. He's not one dimensional. While he got the victory over him, they could say Errol Spence Jr. was trash. He was one dimensional. All these things that they said about him is true. And we know in boxing that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can win on any given night if you got skills and stuff like that. But it's also about how you feel at that moment. what kind of condition you are at that moment. And a lot of these fighters understand that. You know what I'm saying? That's why it was strategically planned to wait Errol Spence Jr. out to make sure he's not at his best. So that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying?
And then too, like why wouldn't they want to see why wouldn't they want to make it into a trilogy? That to me, I would pay to see it. I'm not gonna pay for Crawford. I'm not gonna support Crawford unless he fighting somebody I want to see. Like if he fights Errol Spence, then I'm support it. I'm about to fight again. And if he fights Jamel, I'm about to fight. You know what I'm saying? But if he doesn't fight them two, I'm not supporting his fights. But I would love to see a trilogy. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be better for him to do that because I don't think he's going to get that Canelo fight. And Jamal, to be honest, I mean Jamel. I think Jamel shouldn't fight him. I don't think Jamel should even give him the time of day. I think he should play him like how he trying to play Thurman and Danny Garcia. That's how I think that Jamel should treat Crawford.
Yeah, and they want to see that fight because
And look how he's even trying to fight Jamel. You want to fight Jamel? I know he's saying he'll go to 168, but you want to fight Jamel after two tough fights with Canelo and then bring him back down to 154?
Yeah.
yeah, it's all you know. It's just kind of like I just hate to see a weasel his way. You know what I'm saying, through divisions and the championship, trying to strategically fight people after they done all the grueling work because Jamil went through the 154 just like Errol Spence Jr. went through 147. You know what I'm saying? He's chilling. You know what I'm saying? On the outside. He's chilling on the outside. You know what I'm saying? After he's seen this guy go through all these tough ass fights, he want to come in once they get to the apex of it all. You know what I'm saying? So he could just fight.
Charlo had a harder road to undisputed than Spence, if you ask me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So he want to come in the end while these guys done all the work through the division and come in and then beat you, you know what I'm saying, after you done ran uphill, you know what I'm saying, for 300 miles and then meet you up there while he's cruising, you know what I'm saying, on one of those little ATVs, you know what I'm saying, and you done fought your way to the top. And he said, okay, I'm ready for you now. I want to beat you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't think he, and he's cruising off the fame of a cheap, undisputed run at 140. You know what I'm saying? So this is why he deserved all. You know what I'm saying? This deficits from all other fighters.
It could backfire. This whole thing could backfire on him though, because he's saying at a catch weight of 148, it could end up backfiring on him because let's just say Errol Spence have a good camp this time around. And he'd be able to make 140. Yeah, it's probably still kind of difficult for him, but he's always edged it out. And what if he's able to edge it out this time around because he had a better camp, and he could and he might be what we seen in the fight against Ugas, or I would really actually like to see him. I would like to see the Earl that fought Mikey Garcia against him.
Mm-hmm. AJ64, what's going on? He says Spencer, the 3-belt champion, he's just not no run of the mill to fight. He said they just making him out to be that way because the way he got beat. That man is a champion. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's more aspects to being a champion,
Right.
just when it's about your attitude. It's about, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to take on all the challenges, you know what I'm saying? And that's not Bud Crawford. That's why he's won, but nobody really cares, you know, except his fans. And
I see Earl. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying how old media, because they don't like the PBC.
Right.
Right. They want to see PBC fighters fail, and you best believe they're going to be all over this Canelo, Jamil, Charlo. If he lose in a bad way, they're going to be dragging. That story's going to be dragging through. Just like you see how malicious they was with Wilder when he got beat by Tyson Fury. They were malicious with the language. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even finish the articles, man. It was just like it's like they parading his head on London
Yeah, I
Bridge.
unsubscribed to a lot of people because of the way they were talking about Wilder, man, and I had to, and even with Arrow, there's a lot of guys that I unsubscribed to, man, because I didn't like the attitude about it, just the sportsmanship that they were showing. I'm like, man, that stuff ain't cool, man. I ain't finna sit here and keep supporting you.
And
What's going on, Mike?
let's not act like this was the number one and the number two in the division. Y'all acting like Earl got beat by the number eight. Like no, these are
Right,
just
right,
like Wilder. These are the top two. So
yeah,
one top lost to the other top fighter. So what are y'all saying? How does that just deplete? Oh, he a basic fighter and this and that and that. Like guys, that take away anything Earl has done because he lost to the number one pound for pound best fighter on the planet. That's what y'all saying. He
right,
lost to the best
right.
fighter on the planet. So how could you discredit him so much?
But you know
And you
what? As much credit that they giving Crawford now shows though how much credit how they really seen Earl, because in order for you to try to say oh he's on the level of Earl's of Mayweather, you had to have felt that he was fighting somebody great to say that. And so that they have to give Earl his props, if you're going to say that Crawford is so great.
Well, people like when you've been winning for so long, people really hate that, so they want to see you fall and they want to be
Right,
a part, they want to be a part of that trolling when you fall from grace, you know what I'm saying? And, in boxing, if you watched it for a while, everybody have their time while they're up. But then, what I'm saying, when you start going down, because you can't imagine how many people was picking on Tyson when he got knocked out by Buster Douglas. You know what I'm saying? Even though this man done knocked out everybody, like Deontay
right.
Wilder, knocked down everybody, you know what I'm saying? But some people just don't like you. They just not gonna like you. What's going on, Mike Biggs, boxing in the building? I want to shout out my brother. Make sure you subscribe to my brother, you know what I'm saying? Mike Biggs boxing. He be
Can y'all
supporting
imagine
everybody.
if Derrick James would have got arrested for a gun? The only people I see talking about Bomac is the UK channel. Could y'all imagine this? They would have smeared the mess out of Derrick James if that would
Yeah.
have happened in Spence's camp. Nobody's saying nothing about it. They acting like it doesn't add to the suspicion of Crawford's camp. It's like they just swept
Yeah.
it under the rug.
Yep. You know, but hopefully, what I'm saying, this is what I want moving forward for Errol Spence Jr. I want him to get his conditioning together. I want him to, what I'm saying, get himself right at that weight if he can. I want him to rehydrate. I want him to come in stronger, what I'm saying, looking better. That way, what I'm saying, whatever Crawford throws at him, what I'm saying, he can nullify that shit. I want to see him getting back to throwing 100 punches around. I want to see him blocking. I want to see him, what I'm saying, moving forward. What I'm saying, to defeat this guy, because I just think Crawford is bad for boxing.
Yeah, I
I
want
don't.
him out of there. I'm sick of him, man.
hmm And that way, what I'm saying, we could, I don't know how many more fights EJ got in him.
Because
But
they
I could,
let Fury get them belts and he just went like Wilder was defending his title. Wilder was out here looking for competition. He was pulling people to fight. Like he was
Yeah.
fighting. He was doing what he should be doing as a champion, man. I don't understand. Usyk and Wilder would have been fought.
yeah. George Curry says, bro, you can't trust Bud. Says uh, he can say we fight at 147, then he can come in overweight. Don't trust that team. No, at all. And see, you can see a consensus of people, what I'm saying, who knows what Bud team is. They ghetto snipe weasels, what I'm saying. They're gonna try to cut the corners and try to cheat, what I'm saying, cheat the big fights. AJ 64 says if this is an even playing field, this fight will be more competitive. Exactly. What I'm saying? What's Philly fight doctor? What's happening, my brother? Salute to you. He says Errol was not healthy on fight night, and Errol knows it. Of course he does. He said his fans know it and the media knows it. Of course. They
Right. Right.
even the champions, saying some of the ex-champions like Sugar Shane Mosley, uh, even Demetrius Andrade saying he looked dead at the weight.
My,
But
my my lady said it. My lady said it when he was in the dressing room or whatever, in the locker room or whatever. She looked at it and said his eyes and was like, something ain't right. Look how puffy his eyes was. And I said, I tried to like, I'm like, he gonna be all right. I'm thinking he gonna be all right. I try to, like, but when I seen that first round, I was like, you know what? She right. Something is not right. Something is not right
Well,
about this.
his balance was off. He couldn't react when Crawford threw the first healthy speed punch at Errol. You could see he was off, bro. It's like his
Yeah.
reaction time wasn't there. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Because we used to seeing Errol go right across the ring and stop going with the jab and going behind the jab. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to make it look like Bud was just that much of a monster, bro. Are you crazy?
Right.
Are you
And then too,
crazy?
I think it was where he
Bud
was
don't even come
punching too.
forward. Say what now?
I think too it was where he was hitting Errol Spence too, because I was looking at that fight. I played it back again and again, and I noticed that he was doing a lot of rabbit punching like and I thought I was the only one that seen it. You know what I'm saying? But when Jamel came forward and said, I said, you know what? I'm glad I'm not the only one that's paying attention and seeing that, because I thought I was tripping. But he was hitting the dude in the back of his head. You know what I'm saying? All in the neck. I seen some
I seen the
elbows in
elbow
there.
too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
seen
Yeah.
elbows, man.
who fights like that, y'all? Let me ask you a question. Who do y'all know in the heavyweight division that fights like that? Hit you in the back
Tyson,
of the head.
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury. He fights
Yeah,
like that. You know what I'm saying? Hitting you right. That's what Steve Cunningham was talking about when he fought Tyson Fury, hitting you all in the back of the head, trying to discombobulate. See, because when you knock off a person equilibrium, they're not able to get it back. If you hit them with a
right,
good shot in a certain spot and you aiming for those spots, and the ref is either going to catch it and he's going to take some points from you, or you're going to get away with it. So it's
and
dirty
that
tricks. Go ahead.
I was going to just say that's if you look at all the TKOs he had, that's the type of TKOs. All of them was where he had them discombobulated. They was wobbly because where he was hitting them at. He don't have that type of power like a Gervonta Davis or a Wilder. You know what I'm saying? He's not even hitting people on the chin. He's hitting them in behind their ears and behind their head. You know what I'm saying? And on the back of their neck. The only person he knocked out like that on the chin, I think, was Avanesian.
Right, and that was a test. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't look like this. He
I
didn't even
told
look
y'all he
like
was practicing the cheat with the Avanesian fight. I literally
right.
said that on one of these lives that this dude
Well,
was
I
practicing.
said it. I said it in my live streams. You know what I'm saying? I said he's working on taking the fight to Errol Spence Jr. And people thought I was crazy. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I said if you look at the David Avanesian fight, he's looking to take the fight to Errol Spence Jr. And he knows that he's in there with an inferior opponent, and he's testing whatever it is he's taking. You know what I'm saying? That improves his stamina and his strength, because he didn't look like the Crawford that fought Errol Spence Jr. in that fight. He was working on shit. You know what I'm saying? He's
Right.
working on technique. He's working on angles. He's working on how to hit this dude to get him up out of there. And say he's not slick. Say people. If you're watching this stuff just closely, you can see what Crawford was doing.
Even how
It's just
calm he was, was off to me, because he don't usually look that calm in fights to me.
well, I mean, he fought a safe enough fighter where he could try stuff out on. That's
Right.
why he didn't fight a Boots Sentence. He don't want those kind of challenges. He don't want those kind of problems. So that's why I say he's a different kind of champion. So he's not the traditional champion who's just trying to
Right.
test himself. He's just going for victories and stuff like that, and trying to pick his spots where he can win, and using whatever resources he can to win. And that's why he's not respected. He's in that spot, but he's not looked at like Errol Spence Jr. was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's just not going to gain that kind of respect. AJ64, he says, who let who he said who let you fight with busted gloves that ought to tell you something. You know what I'm saying? These
Right.
people don't care. That boy had neck bone grease on them damn gloves and shit. He said Pedro Torres says Crawfish needs to be frozen out if he reneges on his obligations with Spence and PPC. Well, we know Crawford don't care about none of. He don't care about protocol. You know what I'm saying? The way he moves, he wanna move the way he wanna move, the way he can have the advantage. If he's at a disadvantage, he'll just walk away and retire. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of dude he is. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna fight where it's gonna be even, where he's gonna guess. He's gonna get. It's a big probability where he may lose. He's not gonna fight that fight, especially
And,
when you're talking about. Mhm.
Errol Spence really resurrected his career because I think Eddie Hearn and Al and Bob Arum they all froze him out. They wasn't really trying. Nobody was really trying to deal with him and pick him up, man. And I think if it was for Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying? Because even the all the shit he talked about Al Heyman and the PBC, there wasn't nobody for just pull him in. When nobody for just pull him in, I think he would have had to. That's why I think he went over to BLK Prime because who else was going to bring him in?
Well, I mean, look how much time it took
Well,
for him.
Golden Boy was meeting with him.
Yeah, but I don't think that they was gonna pick him up for real, man. I think that because he's so difficult to deal with, and then I believe Bob Arum, all he gotta do is make a phone call, and people will change their mind on him.
Well, look, I want y'all to check this out. Smoke this open. Look how much time it took for him to go from top rank. The first thing he did was went overseas. You know, he went overseas. What was he doing over there all that time?
Oh, I heard they won't fool with him in Saudi Arabia either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he was getting all that
connections with Kinahan. They won't fool with him in Saudi Arabia either because he started talking all that. Oh, let's fight in the UK and the UK fans better and this and that.
Yeah.
And what happened with all that?
He was picking up cheating tips. You know what I'm saying, when he was over there, you know, because they were planning to fight Errol Spence Jr., but they wanted to do it on their time. And all that time was a plot, you know what I'm saying? All that time he was plotting to beat Errol Spence Jr. He didn't want to fight that guy, you know what I'm saying, when he was on top of his game. You know what I'm saying? All that time he went over there, Kinahan, talking to Tyson Fury about the deals over there. And everybody like, what the hell is Crawford doing? You know what I'm saying? He's gearing up to fight Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of weasel he is. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just going over there and signing with the PPC, you know what I'm saying, they had to make sure that the time was just right, you know what I'm saying, to get this victory. And now that they got the victory, you know what I'm saying, you think they're just going to give that up, give up that advantage? No, they're not going to do that. This has been in the planning for years and years and years. And so now he's walking around with his chest out, but he can't fully enjoy it because he knows the plot and planning he did to get the victory. That's why he's moving the way he's moving. You know what I'm saying? Because if I would have beat Errol Spence Jr. and I did it naturally, man, I'll be all over the place, man. Saying I'm the best in the world, you know what I'm saying? But he's moving like a dude knows he used other means to beat this guy. And
my issue with Crawford is why is all of the shady stuff done so openly and publicly? Why do we know all your business, man? Like, why do we know you connected to Kinahan? Why you over there taking pictures with Tyson Fury? Why? I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, because the PBC is hated in this industry. You know, they are babies when it comes to promotion in this field. You know what I'm saying? The way they were born out of Golden Boy under Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I'm saying? People don't like Al Haymon. You know, so they don't like what he's doing for the industry. They don't like what he's doing for his fighters. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of like the face of black boxing. You know what I'm saying? Black power in boxing. So they want to shut that down, just like they hated Don King. You know, they hated Don King, even though he was corrupt and everything. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, except Al Haymon is cleaner. You know what I'm saying? He's doing it more efficiently, and he's killing in this sport. You know, his reputation is impeccable, and they hate that. You know, when you look at Bob Arum's reputation, when you look at Oscar De La Hoya's reputation, is trash. You know, especially when it comes to how they treat their fighters. But you see, everybody got nothing but good things to say about Al Haymon, unless you come from another network. You know, you fight for the Zone, or you fight for, you know what I'm saying,
like Rick Glacier and them, all they act like Al Haymon just ruined boxing, like it ain't gonna ever be able to go on.
Yeah, Glacier's.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question. When the fight was going on, did y'all get a chance to see the look on Mayweather's face?
Yes, it was extremely creepy and weird. It was weird, man.
He didn't look happy about the situation, and I thought that he would probably be like, you know, gloating or whatever, but he didn't look happy like about that situation at all.
No, he had that little weird smirk on his face.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was about to say
Yeah,
y'all didn't see.
he
Y'all
had
didn't
a
see how
smirk
he
on
was
his face,
smiling.
but I thought I would have thought he would have been more excited about it. You know what I'm saying about Errol Spence losing, but he looked like I don't know. A part of me felt like he just looked like he wasn't too happy the way it looked. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know.
No,
Maybe I'm
no,
tripping, but
Floyd don't like anybody that's going to outshine him. You know what I'm saying? This was a huge moment for Errol Spence Jr. to become the face of boxing. You
right.
know what I'm saying? For him to get knocked off the hill, that's excellent for Mayweather. He don't want nobody to be the face of boxing except for
Just like
himself.
he didn't want Wilder to get that 50th win against Fury. He would have been 50-0.
Mm,
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather's an egomaniac, man. You know what I'm saying? So nobody wasn't paying attention to Floyd during that fight. You know what I'm saying? So, he got to do that's why you think Floyd was at that fight. You know what I'm saying? For one thing. Why was because it was in a big event. You know what I'm saying? He don't take the air out the room anymore when it comes to these fights. So he was glad to see somebody like Errol Spence Jr., somebody who got famous over beating him in sparring or giving him a black eye in sparring. He was happy to
right.
see that man fall, and he was right there to see it. He's another weasel too. When it comes, he's a great fighter, he's a great legend and everything, but he is somewhat of a weasel. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I kind of felt the same way about him. I ain't gonna say the same, uh, because Crawford, I think he takes it to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Than Mayweather, but they do have some similarities. But I think that Crawford is a lot worse. He's a lot worse, in my opinion.
Well, Floyd did fight some legendary fighters
Yeah, yeah, he
at
did.
their best. At their best. He fought Zab Judah at his best. You know what I'm saying? He fought Cotto. You know what I'm saying? A prime Cotto, but not a Cotto. Anything after Margarito. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of a Cotto that wasn't his top because Margarito took a lot out of Cotto. But Mayweather did have. He fought Diego Corrales. He fought Castillo. He fought some top dudes when they were
Right.
knocking out, when they were beating the hell out of everybody. So, you know, so you got to give Floyd his credit, but we're not seeing that out of some of these guys they want to give the top billing to, like Terrence Crawford. He didn't do what Pretty Boy Floyd did, and that's why
Right.
he's not getting the respect that So they want to put him up there with the Floyds. They want to put him up there with the Rands and the Sugar Rays and the Marvin Haglers, but he kind of finagled his way through. And I think a lot of people who hustle, they like that. They want to give him credit for hustling the system. Just like
Uh,
they give. Mhm.
I ain't trying to cut you off, Paul, but whoever Gene to Tech is, why don't you hop on the panel, bruh? Since I'm a dumb
Who
chick, why don't you
am
hop
I?
on the panel
Yeah,
and
you
say what
talking
it is that you
crazy.
gotta say?
Who put that?
Yeah,
Who
what's
put
up,
that?
man?
All my mods up in here. Come on, huh? Let me say
Yeah,
I
you
ain't
Nah,
even
talking
see
crazy.
that.
yeah, hop up on here and say what you got to say, bruh. It's everybody on here talking about the same thing, but you gonna call me dumb.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I mean, who's more mad? You can tell
He
how
probably
pissed off.
mad because she know more boxing than he do.
Well, you can always tell how mad somebody is by how much they insult you, how far they go. You know what I'm saying? So, Sue said she unbothered. You know what I'm saying? Most people on this panel is unbothered by criticism, but when you go personal, you got an issue. So you got personal issues when you coming at people like that. So, it ain't even that serious for us up here on
Yeah,
the
that's lame.
I don't understand the name calling. Like everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Like
Right.
you leave the chat. You don't have to be here listening. You chose voluntarily to come in here and
panel.
drop your 2 cents in the comments. Now I'm asking you to hop on the panel and let's just talk. Since I'm
But you
dumb.
know what? Crawford fans though they good for that though. They for some reason they like to be on other people's channels doing that kind of stuff. Like if you don't like the content, man, what you ain't got nobody's forcing you to stay on this channel.
That's what I say. I don't even go to other channels like that. For one, I don't have time because I'm actually a working person. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't be up on this internet 247. I just mess with the boxing people because we got something in common. Um, but there's folks that out there they look for the argument, and
Hmm.
they want to fight and they want to insult. But it don't mean nothing, bro. 'Cause we ain't
Troll.
in the ring. We ain't in the ring. You know what I'm saying? It's like. these fighters, that we love to watch, it's entertainment. We got to keep that in mind. That's what it is. It's entertainment. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And so it's a lot going on. I think they live through these fighters vicariously. And I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes, what I'm saying, like, when I want to go to the gym, I think about some of the fighters, Errol Spence Jr, whatever, in training camp. I'd be wanting to get in there and, what I'm saying, and get inspired to work out and stuff like that. But that's about as far as it goes. So I'm not going to other people's channels to insult them
Yeah,
and
just to
call
argue
them
and
out their
troll
name.
people. That's crazy.
Nah, I got better things to do. You know what I'm saying? I got an old lady, you know what I'm saying? I got bills, I got things that I got to
Right.
take care of. I ain't got time for, going around calling people out their names, you know what I'm saying? So that's just weird. The internet is a weird place, and it attracts a lot of people who, what I'm saying, are anarchists, you know what I'm saying? They like to get into that. That's the exciting part of their day, to try to make
Yeah,
somebody
some of them don't even have channels. They just have they just got a profile. They don't even have a real channel. They just on here just to be messing with people, man. It's just crazy
Well,
or
I got
whatever. You
time
know what
today.
I'm
Then I got time today. I got time today.
Sometimes I ain't gonna lie. If you go back at my early live streams, I went off. I've been going off. It just depends on how you feeling that day. You know what I'm saying? But
right, right.
you know what I'm saying. So don't let it get to people gonna try to be as vile and vulgar as they want to try to get up under your skin. So that's just the world. Some of these dudes are kids. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
They're not men, some of these dudes are kids, they love Crawford and they'll come after you, you know what I'm saying? Some of these people, like that dude, True Media, you know what I'm saying, getting threatened by people and, but that's the risk you run when you that stupid on here, you insulting
Right.
people, calling them, all kind of things. And when they catch you at the store, guess what? Now you got some kind of crazy person after you, and you don't even know. You get hit in the back of the head before you open the car. Now you're like, oh my God, the humanity of it all, and what I'm saying, and they'll beat the crap out of you because you done said something on the net. You know what I'm saying? And that just don't make no dang sense.
You
So
know what? The last YouTube content creator that got caught at the store ended up changing his whole personality, man.
hey man, hey, these people, it's some crazy folks. They'll track you down and they'll find you.
Right.
Hey, when I go through Omaha in my truck, I make sure I ain't wearing nothing but no pool kind of box. I ain't talking about the box, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't be up in
Right.
Omaha. Hey man, I'm pool kind of box and watch my channel, man. Hell no. They say, oh, you that dude that be talking crap about Crawford. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know what I'm
Man, them Omaha
saying?
dudes ain't
And you
gonna
know
do
what?
nothing, man. They
But
weird
you know
out
what?
there.
But when you go through there though, you can't even tell what the hood look like. What's the hood? So you do got to
It
be
all look
careful
like
because
the hood to me. I mean, the streets be toe up, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Crawford probably got calluses on his feet. You know what I'm saying? Because them streets are toe up there in Omaha, bro. I'm just telling you,
right.
bro. And the streets all curved and don't make no sense. I don't think they got a straight street up in Omaha, man. It's like everything
I don't
is
never deliver out there. I just go past there on the highway. I ain't never had a chance to really see what the hoods look like.
man. You go through there, it's like a damn maze, bro. That's like no wonder why. Don't wonder why he's so crooked, bro. They don't have one straight street up there. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Zach B says, I think EJ losing had a lot of people in on it. He said that definitely trickled down from the top. He said, don't forget boxing is ran by all gangsters. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, what's going on,
Yeah.
GD? In the building, what's going on? He says, pool counter, salute soldier. Yes, sir. We be on it. I told you when I come off the road, we better get at it, man. George Curry says, some people are agents of chaos. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it is. The internet gives people a chance to vent. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, if their life ain't going right, you know what I'm saying? They want to get at you. You know what I'm saying? They want to hurt your feelings and, hurt people.
Hey,
GD says,
Paul.
mhm.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I'm gonna get in this sleeper berth or whatever, man. But I appreciate you giving us your time, man, sharing your time with
Oh,
us.
no doubt. Oh, you out there making that money? You out there making the money?
Yes, sir. I'm out here in Arlington, Texas now on the way to Las Vegas. So I'm gonna get some rest or whatever before it's my
Oh,
turn to
be careful
drive.
out there, my brother. You know how that weather changed out there, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
yes,
was caught
sir.
in a blizzard. Remember when they had that blizzard out there? And
Right, right.
I was
Yeah,
dead in the middle of it, bro. Oh my God, bro. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
man. Yeah, it ain't no joke out
I,
here, man. People don't understand what we deal with as truckers, man.
yes, sir, man. You know, I love it though, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Me too,
I,
man.
re- you know, I ain't got to clock in and you know what I'm saying, do the 9 to 5 thing. You know what I'm saying? I can do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? I love
Right,
it. But
right.
let me read GD. All right,
You got
y'all make sure y'all check out 52 Block Network when you get a moment. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see my man know his stuff. So
y'all
GD
take care,
says,
man. Thanks.
all right, bro. GD said them trolls are miserable. They're alive, suck. They have nothing to do but try to make other people lovers like lovers like them. You know what I'm saying? Losers like them. hmm Yeah, and you know it is what it is. We've been on here for a while, so we know you know you got whole channels dedicated to you know trolling. You know a lot of anti Errol Spence Jr. channels. You know what I'm saying to you know make you know just to make the PPC like True Media. I keep going back to him because he's a hater of PPC, and I'm like, don't they know that Bud Crawford is fighting under the PPC? So it's like you know they don't get that hypocrisy. You know, he's always been destined to go to the PBC because that's where his competition was. So they try to make it everything, you know, about everything except for the facts. You know, this man is a PBC fighter now. You know, he's not a top ranked fighter, but y'all want to, you know, saying you know, saying make it like he's not. You know, saying yeah, he's contracted with him. So you know, every fight that he got is going to be with a PBC fighter. So, you know, hopefully, you know, saying he gets humbled in his rematch, you know. Um, Pedro Torres says PBC is the only one that would even deal with Crawfish. And that's only because Spence wanted that fight so bad. Nobody wants anything to do with that neck bone. Exactly. Because, you know, the way he do business, man. He do business like he's 2 years old. Damn, when did I put my link in there? This is Beaston 759. He says, weight train, stop it. He says, belt make money. He said, belts make money. Doesn't make sense to fight at 154. He's giving him a cheat, to get his belt. A cheat, giving him a cheat to get his belt back. I don't know. Weight train, stop it. You know what I'm saying? I get the sentiment, Beaston 759. Um, but I don't agree. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think, you know, Spence, you know, saying he's just done with 147. I think we all know that. So Spence wants to fight at 154. And I think if Bud really want to show the world that his victory was, you know, saying is because of his skill and that he was a complete fighter, he would go ahead and take the challenge up at 154. He don't have to, but him, you know, putting the fight back at 147, showing that, you know, it shows me what kind of champion he is. It showed me that he wants that advantage. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hoping it backfires on him. You know, you know, hopefully whatever supplements and stuff that he's using, I hope it backfires. I hope he turns into a fucking toad, a black ass toad, and I just hope it backfires on him. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
really
see,
do.
he at the end of his career anyway. He got his biggest payday, so he really could probably just retire and be straight.
Mm-hmm. B Dog, what's happening, my brother? Good to see you. He says once you reach a certain level, he said the belts don't really matter that much for big fights. Yeah, you know, what I'm saying I agree with you. But yeah, I agree with you. He said B Dog said the biggest fight in boxing this year was for 0 belts. I agree with that. You know, Andre Smith says 2 cents. Who will be Bud? Who will Bud fight if he don't get Earl for the big payday? That's the
I don't know who he gonna fight. Teofimo Lopez? I don't know. Because
you
I
know
don't
that
see him getting a Charlo fight. I don't see him getting a Canelo fight if he try to do Spence like this, unless PBC is agreeing with that, but Crawford is not the draw. So he's going to have another big name, especially for him to get the money that he's probably going to be asking for. So I don't know what other big name he could fight. Boots. Espinosa told him he'll pay him whatever he wants to fight Boots. So he ain't even entertaining that, seem like. He mentioned everybody but Boots.
Yeah,
he even mentioned Tank.
Amber Rose, I'm talking about Amber Rose. Ambrose West says the fans make the fights, don't they? He said if you lose fans due to your petty, selfish, and spiteful actions, won't you then lose more interest in your fights, i.e., lower pay-per-views? You know what I'm saying? And that's a good point. You know what I'm saying? You know, the fans do make the fight. We are the ones that's paying the money. But you know, the way Crawford moves, you know, he's moving in his own interest. You know, he just want to, you know, make a money grab. He's cashing out is what he's doing. You know, for us to expect Bud Crawford, you know what I'm saying, to operate within the spirit of boxing is ridiculous because he's never done that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, once a person shows you who he is, you best believe him. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, for him fronting like, you know, he want the love of the fans, he don't want that because he know he'll never get it because he's not the same. He's not cut from the same cloth as Errol Spence Jr. And that's what he's seeing. And now I think he understands that, you know what I'm saying? And he hates it, that he'll never be as loved and, you know what I'm saying, honored as the way Errol Spence Jr. is, you know. So, you know, he could take the victory, but, you know, I mean, he's just not going to be able to replace, you know, the heart and spirit of a champion like Errol Spence Jr. That's his problem. You know, why was he so loved and I so hated? You know what I'm saying? It's just like Shakespeare, you know. It says, Pedro say, I'm proud of this young lady. She knows her boxing. Of course, that's 2 cents. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all come at it if you want to. You know what I'm saying? She can hold on.
Appreciate it.
You know? Let me see. GD says, Bud, so stupid. Said he didn't even realize trying to keep this fight at 147 validates the case about EJ not being 100%. And he don't care. That's what I'm saying. He don't have that kind of pride. A lot of these young men that you see nowadays, and I'm not going to put it on all young men. I'm just saying some. You know, so they don't care about these kind of tactics. You know what I'm saying? Only, you know, guys from my generations, you know what I'm saying, care about that. You know what I'm saying? Walking as a man, being seen as a man, and operating in honor and all that kind of stuff. These guys are triple team you, you know, jump on you, you know what I'm saying, hit you in the back of the head with a bat. They don't care. As long as they get the win. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, win by attrition. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about that, you know. So, you know, it is what it is, you know. But I agree with you, GD. It does validate that, you know, EJ, he don't want to give him that. He wants that advantage over EJ because he don't think he can operate at 147. And, you know, I do agree with that, though. I think that's a good point. He said he's scared of Boots. Man, he's not going to give Boots. Man, Boots got, you know, he got too much jet fuel running through them veins. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to fight some young lion with that much talent. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, he's not going to.
With no advantage? There's no advantage he can gain. What
right,
advantage can he gain from Boots? There's no advantage he could gain, so he's not going to fight him.
The only advantage he can have if he is in the contract where he got to tie one hand behind his back. You know what I'm saying? Fight. That's the only way. You know, what's going on, Brandon, in the building? What's going on? Elegance Worldwide says, keep up the great work, y'all. Uneducated people are going to show who they are. Uneducated people are going to show who they are. He says, don't let meat riders get to you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I never do. You know what I'm saying? This is all entertainment. We got to understand. You know what I'm saying? You know, it used to be a little bit of honor, you know what I'm saying, in the sport. But now people are using all kind of supplements, tricks, trades, you know what I'm saying, to give us this fake, I can't even articulate. He said, give us this you know, he's not all that to me, you know, Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? If he went in there and he fought, you know what I'm saying, the way he's supposed to, you know what I'm saying? If he just come without using Snac and, you know what I'm saying, if he just went and trained in Colorado and he just came in, you know what I'm saying, like that, I think he would get beat. You know what I'm saying? I think he would be normal like everybody else.
But
You know
you
what I'm
didn't
saying?
fight any other time. Like you didn't fight Adrian Broner. You didn't fight Danny Garcia. You didn't fight who? What big names have you fought throughout your career? There were big names available to you to fight, and you did not fight any of them. And you two-time undisputed. That's just
Well,
it's weird.
well, it don't matter. You see, because he fought Sean Porter, he fought Kell Brook. Those are names, right? But it matters when you fight a fighter. You know what I'm saying? If you don't fight them in their prime and you fight them when they're not, 100% of themselves, you still get the credit. You know what I'm saying? On paper. You know what I'm saying? You still get the credit on paper. And that's the thing we're missing. You know what I'm saying? That's not mentioned when he is racking up these victories. You only beat these guys by in name only. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not getting the same version of themselves when they fought when they were at their best. You
I
know.
just seen a video pop up on my thing saying that Sean Porter is addressing claims that he threw the fight against Crawford. I
Oh my
can't wait
God!
to
You
watch
gotta be
that
kidding.
video. I can't wait. I wish you could pull it up. I love when you used to do those reaction videos.
Oh, yeah, man, that's crazy. That is crazy. Let me see. So, see, as time go by, 2 Cent, all this stuff is going to come out. More and more things are going to come out. About Errol Spence Jr. bad camp. These are things he can't say just because of the kind of champion he is. What's going on, Educated Jab in the building? Say what's going on, Dante? What's happening, bro? All things, what's happening? So these are things that he can't talk on. He can't speak on because it'll make him look weak. But these things do have an effect on the performance that we saw. And people they don't want. Oh, Crawford he just too good. He just beat him. No, bro. You know what I'm saying? We saw what we saw. And you don't want us to put that in there, but it is what it is. Yeah, Crawford got skills, but shit, if you got a wounded deer, if you hunting and you got a wounded deer, guess what? You know what I'm saying? You're going to be able to kill or destroy or delete that deer, you know what I'm saying, easier than if he was healthy. And they don't want to admit that that's what's the case, you know what I'm saying, in this fight. And I just hope Errol Spence Jr. come back in the race, you know what I'm saying? Because we've seen it in boxing so many times where fighters come back, you know what I'm saying, and get that back, get that victory back. And I hope that's the case for Errol Spence Jr. because he's gonna have to live. He's not gonna live this shit down, if he don't come back and beat Crawford, he's never gonna live it down. They're always gonna, say hold this over the fans in Dallas, and all over the world. He said Sean Porter is a Bud buddy. Mm-hmm. Well, they all hate Spence, what I'm saying, even Sean, Sean, he did his best to beat Errol Spence Jr. and he failed, So they really, Keith Thurman, he don't like Errol Spence Jr. Now he definitely don't like Crawford, you know what I'm saying, because Crawford called him, you know what I'm saying, what he called him. And so he's got a chip on his shoulder, you know what I'm saying, against the PBC. He's definitely hates, even though he's a PBC fighter, he probably looking in the mirror, you know what I'm saying, just hating himself for having to sign that contract and having to do what he got to do, you know what I'm saying, over at the PBC. Let's see, Educated Jabs is Don game. Oh, people just hollering at each other. Well, where's Don got you the game? He said, oh, Don. Oh, okay, that's you. Okay, you just changed your name. Okay, I see. He said EJ can beat that clown. I think so too. So I think he got a good chance. But, EJ got to get himself together, man. He got to put his ducks in a row. This guy has been planning this stuff for a long, long time. And the plot to beat him and bring him down, you know what I'm saying? It was, you know what I'm saying? It was a brilliant plan. It was a brilliant move. And, you know what I'm saying? We just got to look at how he did it, look at the circumstances around that and expose this dude, man. I sure hate Sean Porter throwing the fight though. Cause we knew that Sean Porter, he don't get tired in fights. He always fight to the end, and it dang sure look like he threw that fight. To me, in my opinion, that's just what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? So um, people give Errol Spence Jr. a lot of crap about how he fought Sean Porter and how Terrence Crawford fought Sean Porter, but they was at different stages in their careers. So saying that's why your boy gets so much flack. Saying tell the truth. That's why he gets so much flack. You know. So did y'all see where Adrian Broner and Chris Howard supposed to be fighting? You know what I'm saying? I just thought that was kind of, even though nobody's like really interested in that fight, just the fact that Adrian Broner is still trying to get that fight with Regis and still trying to become relevant, in boxing. And I just don't think he's ever going to reach the heights, that he was at before. So I just hate to see him fight Chris Howard. That shit is sad, bro. B Dog says I don't think he threw it, but he didn't put all into training. Yeah, I believe that too, bro. But if it came out that he threw the fight, I wouldn't be surprised. Andre Smith says, "Pool, here we go again." So now EJ accept weight at 147 out there in a box in the world. I gotta hear EJ. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I told y'all that Bud Crawford was gonna go back to 147. I told y'all that, and of course, I even predicted that he was gonna preface it with something, saying, "Oh, we don't want Errol Spence Jr. to sign for the rematch because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time for you because you don't want that man to get his get back. Yeah, it's a waste of time for you because you can have that victory over his head. But now you got whatever process that Terrence Crawford went through to get to that point, he's got to do it again. And I hope it eat his damn body up. You know what I'm saying? I hope it eat his ass up. You know what I'm saying? Whatever process.
Just to say, we hope he don't take it because it's a waste of time. And while talking about moving up, that is baffling to me.
Well,
in the same paragraph, that's stuff.
But look at the animosity he has for Errol Spence Jr. Of course, you know what I'm saying. Of course, he's gonna say it like that. You know what I'm saying. He's letting you know that he wants the advantage. He's doing that because he don't want Errol Spence Jr. to have an opportunity or have any kind of way of beating him. So he's letting you know that's why he's doing it. That's why this guy's so despicable. You know what I'm saying? He's not a sportsman. You know what I'm saying? He don't have any sportsmanship. You know what I'm saying? You might as well forget about that. He's gonna make everything as toxic as possible. He's gonna make this about hate because nobody likes him. You know what I'm saying? Nobody likes Crawford. Nobody honors Crawford except for, basically despicable people. You know what I'm saying? People who like underhandedness and stuff like that. No, man, it's like, that's why he's showing these tactics. He's showing you who he is. He don't care. He's acting like he don't care, but he does. So he wants that love and adulation that Errol Spence Jr. Gets, automatically off GP. He gets all kind of love and respect. You know what I'm saying? So he wants that. He wants that position. And he wants that he wants that fame. People still don't know who it is. Mm-hmm.
AB was looking sad in the McDonald's. Somebody was asking about AB in the McDonald's. His coach died. So.
Oh yeah. I was saying that his coach died.
Yeah, man. I don't know. But he gonna be going through. I don't know who'll be around AB, and maybe AB just one of them people.
Kind of cut out, Cole. Thank you. Internet, in and out. Where you at? I hate when I be cooking or I get on something good and that damn internet just go out. Dante says, so that man, he said that man EJ threw him a bone, gave him everything he wanted. Yeah, and this is a lesson to everybody because I'm gonna tell y'all, one time I worked with this guy, and me, I'm a giving person, and he was like, "Hey man, okay, you buy me a soda. And so, I brought the man soda, his coworker. And the next time I needed something, saying, hey, say, hey man, could you get me, saying one of those? He said, man, I don't buy people nothing. I don't buy men nothing. Same dude that I, bailed out and got him a soda or whatever. He said, I don't buy niggas nothing. He said it like that. And I was about to punch him out, but I thought about it. Then he told me that I did that because I wanted to do that. Even though he wouldn't reciprocate. So you got miserable ass people just because you honorable and just because you giving, that don't mean other people are going to be giving towards you back. They're not going to reciprocate that. So you can't. When you do something for somebody, you can't be looking with the hopes of getting that back because they hate you. They're opportunists.
Yeah, we just got to think that Earl made the fight too for his own selfish reasons. Right. Because he obviously did too. Like, if we being honest, like maybe he knew he was injured or whatever. He knew he had whatever going on. Maybe he did think he could overcome it. But at the same time, you got to feel like Earl made the fight for his own selfish reasons also, because he went against the PBC. He went against his advisor. He went against this, and that. So, I mean, it kind of goes both ways. It's just that the reason that we're feeling this way is because we have an expectation. You shouldn't have an expectation of nobody to do nothing. That's how you get disappointed and your feelings hurt. We have an expectation of Crawford to be this stand-up guy and woo, and he's just not that. And we should have no expectation for him to be that. And like the guy told you, he basically saying, I ain't asked you to do that. You know what I'm saying? You decided to do that.
That shit had me heated, boy. Let me tell you, boy. I was like, woo. I said, but I had to be an adult. I said, you know what? He's right. You know what I'm saying? Just it makes you change, your attitude on certain things. Say, okay, well, I know not to buy no niggas, nothing. In the future, just keep that to yourself, because people, you can't expect everybody to be grateful, for giving them an opportunity. And I think Errol Spence Jr., this is a good lesson for him. Also on the side of humbling yourself and knowing your limitations, knowing, what you can do. If you have a bad camp, call the fight off, push it back. Even if you don't, so make sure you're going into things for the right reasons, right? When you're at your best. I know $25 million is a lot of money to turn your back on. And you're thinking, I don't care if I lose. I don't care if I disappoint my fans. But we deserve to see Errol Spence Jr. at his best.
And that's what Dante's saying, that it's not true. That, I guess you're saying it's not true. He did it for all the selfish reason. The person in the chat, he was giving the fans what they wanted. But
that's not what we wanted, is what you're saying. We wanted to see EJ at his best. We didn't want to see him going down and get get drugged because, of what happened in training camp. We didn't want no excuses, We want him to go in there at his best, So, yeah, I agree, Like, and I mentioned that in the live stream too, that he had some blame. He has a lot of blame because he knew what was going on with him.
Hello?
You saw what I hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Fly High said, what's the problem? He getting his belt, a shot to get his belt back. We don't want him to get the belts back. We want to see him fight a competitive fight. The belt thing is over with.
Right.
Crawford, 2-time undisputed. He the number one power for power. He the best fighter on the planet. Cool. We want to see you fight at your best. We're not worried about no belts no more. Now we want to see a competitive fight. If Earl is giving the fans what they want, we want Earl to be able to prepare and be in the best shape and conditioning and shape that he can be in order to be competitive in the next fight. That's what we wanted the first fight, but we didn't get that. Mm-hmm. If you can't spar for 6 weeks, you ain't finna, like, come on. You can't cut the weight, right? Like, these things. And nobody's mad at Earl because I get it. He did what he said he was going to do, which is why he's so highly regarded. But what we want to see is Errol Spence be at his best and fight a competitive fight. That's what we want to see.
And then what would you expect, if the fight is on and you hurt your ribs, or you know what I'm saying, just like when he got the eye retina um, injury before he fought Manny Pacquiao, he was trying to go through with that fight too. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to find doctors that would approve him for the fight, even though his eye was jacked up. So, what is he gonna say? That's gonna de-escalate the fight. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna mess up the money if you know what I'm saying you have something happen to you in training, and you know what I'm saying you're gonna mess that money up. You see, he wants that payday. That's why I mentioned the $30 million. So he's gonna say I'm okay. He's gonna say you know what I'm saying I'm feeling the best I ever felt. I don't know no fighter that got a fight on with you know what I'm saying that's making all that kind of money who's gonna try to bail out the fight. So he went out there and he took a beating. You know what I'm saying? For $25 million, you know what I'm saying? If you're looking at it from Errol Spence Jr. point of view, that ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? To make $25 million to take a beating, all the beatings he's taken, even when he won. You even take a beating when you win in boxing. So, to get paid your highest pay, you know what I'm saying, that you ever had, you know what I'm saying, he's probably feeling like he got over. You know what I'm saying?
And he probably thought he could overcome it. He probably was like, well, I overcame this. Like he say, I can't no man do nothing to me. I hit the concrete. The concrete couldn't even break me. And this is his mentality. So, I mean, it's over with. Cool. You got beat up. Let's just see you fight at your best.
Mm-hmm. So, now that they know, everybody know that the fight is going to be at 147. I'm thinking, seeing that this is something that you're not thinking about. He's putting it out there that they hope he don't sign. Saying try to re-sign for 140. They're trying to discourage Errol Spence Jr. from fighting a rematch. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to discourage this man from re-signing. You know what I'm saying? Or they're trying to, you know what I'm saying? They just want that situation to where, they think Errol Spence Jr., you know what I'm saying, can't really function. They want to fight at the weight where he can't really function at his best. So, you know what I'm saying? So either way, the shit is despicable. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it's like, you the first two-time undisputed champion, but, you know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, it just don't sit well. You know what I'm saying? It just don't sit well, So, but like you say, it's
part of me do want Earl to walk away, though. Part of me feel like, and once again, this is how I fell victim to the first fight, that Earl could possibly overcome it and make the weight. Like, part of me believes that. But then the other part of me is just like, just walk away from this dude, man. Not even because of the possibility of you losing again, just on principle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I felt like even once he walked away from those first negotiations, it was kind of like, man, I don't even really care to see the fight no more for real.
What's going on, Original America? He says, knowing EJ, he would take the fight again at 147. I say, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. Because, with everything said, even if he can't win a second fight, it's a huge payday. You know what I'm saying? This is some of the biggest money, they're at the end of their careers, and this is some of the biggest money that they're ever going to see. So, of course, he's going to take that fight. You know what I'm saying? He's going to definitely, no matter if they had to fight at 135, he's going to take that damn fight. Because this is a huge payday for both of them.
Ooh, not 135, Paul.
I'm just saying, let me ask you, I don't know how much you weigh, but if somebody told you you can have one female match, right, and they're going to pay you, $14 million, would you take it?
I'm taking it.
You're going to cut weight, you're going to feel crazy, you know what I'm saying? But after that fight, guess where you're going? After you going to goddamn Paris, you know what I'm saying? You're going to Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? You're eating roasted pig, you know what I'm saying? You're good. So, that's how I'm looking at it. So, that's how I'm looking. Once you take your first L for some of these fighters, it kind of liberating. Sometimes it has a liberating effect, you know what I'm saying? Because you could see with Keith Thurman, you know, say he's willing to take more chances, after you lose. And now he's going for all the top guys now that he took an L. He just didn't want, Errol Spence Jr. to break that O. You know what I'm saying? He let Manny Pacquiao do it, Cindy Taylor says, Bud has not changed, man. He says, how you gonna say you're having a hard time making 147, and now you want to fight at 147 again? If Bud is going to fight at 147, he should fight Boots. I don't think he really owed Boots that because of his status, because of his Boots ain't part of his peer group. I would like to see the fight, don't get me wrong. But as far as his legacy, we know Crawford ain't that type of dude. He's not the type of dude that just want a challenge in the ring. He don't want that. He don't want a 50-50 fight. He don't want to fight a fight where he may lose. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's fighting Spence back at 147. If he was a guy that cared about what the people say, he'll be fighting at 154 and giving, Spence a better chance of, having access to the stamina and everything like that. So if he won't fight Spence at 154, he's definitely not going to fight Boots at 147. Boots is a heart attack, man. That nigga like Rambo at 147. Let's see. Let me see. Ambrose West says, he says Spence is a man in a fight. He said he would take the fight, and everybody who like him would root for him to win or lose. Yeah, I agree with that. Let me see. Ray Reese says, did Crawford? He said, did Earl or Crawford say the fight will be at 147? Let's wait until we hear it from the horse's mouth, like we did when they both announced the first fight. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Dante says Crawford is a clown. Ray Reese says, did Earl or Crawford say the fight will be at 147? Let's wait until we hear. Okay, I just read that. Must be getting to see now. Let's see. Original America says to the bank. Let's see. Cindy Taylor says, if I'm Spence, I'm moving up to 154 regardless and rebuild up there. And you know what I'm saying? And we may have these feelings, you know what I'm saying, if we go in and we have a repeat performance of what happened in the first fight, and we'll be saying, God damn, why didn't he just move up? You know what I'm saying? But if somebody whipped your ass, wouldn't you want some get back? Wouldn't you want to get back at them? You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And you redeem yourself. Devontae 9 says Spence can still get big money, big fights. Bud can't. Spence should leave him hanging. They don't want that fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's not going to hurt Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He cool with what he got going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing with Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He just hangs out until he has the advantage. You know what I'm saying? So he don't care if Errol Spence Jr. He don't want Errol Spence Jr. to get that win back. You know what I'm saying? He want to go off into the sunshine with the victory over Errol Spence Jr., which is why he is so despicable. You know what I'm saying? All things says I feel as though Bud needs Spence more than Spence needs Bud moving forward. No, I don't think so. I think Errol Spence Jr. is the one who has the reputation. You know what I'm saying? I think Bud is that he's like the scumbag. He's like the roach that come up out of the sewer, and you just don't expect nothing from him. You know what I'm saying? You don't expect him to be honorable. You don't expect him to be a good person. You don't expect nothing from him. You know what I'm saying? That's why he sucks as a champion. He says Errol said he was pissed after the fight. Let me see what you say, Dante. Errol said he was pissed after the fight. I'm sure he was. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you took a major beating. Educated Jazz said Dante moved like one and talk like one for sure. That's why the respect level is different between him and Errol. Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. Let me see. Damn, well, we got comments coming in today, baby. He says, Senator Taylor says, no. He said he don't owe Boots nothing. Cool. He says, but I'm just saying. He says, Spence gave the man everything he wanted and some, and now he's acting like he can't even give a rematch at 154. Like I said, he's superficial. He's a superficial champion. You know what I'm saying? He's not a real champion that want to really prove himself. So we saw that how he moved, you know what I'm saying, for the last 5 years, right? He's a scheming champion. You know what I'm saying? He's a champion that want to pick his spots. And, I just wish Errol Spence Jr. was a little bit more, um, on his stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because people are always looking for your weak points, you know what I'm saying, and to take your fame. You know what I'm saying? When people hate on you from the outside, you know what I'm saying, they be looking for an opportunity to take you down, to embarrass you, to make you look like you ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying, even though they never confronted you. You know what I'm saying? Even though they, you know what I'm saying, they never allowed you to know that they were your enemy. You know what I'm saying? So like, when your back is turned, that's when they strike. You know what I'm saying? So they could take down some of your shine and embarrass you in front of everybody. And I think Crawford is just one of them kind of dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like he is only going to face you when he knows he can win. And I think Canelo's like that, and that's why Jermell Charlo better look out, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever Canelo got up his sleeves, he's gonna come in there throwing them goddamn haymakers. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna stop. It's just gonna be continuous. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna really try to destroy Jermell Charlo. Is it Cindy Taylor says no? Oh, okay, I think I read that. Let me see. Dante says can't super chat anymore. Yeah, I was demonetized for. I put some TikTok videos up. I didn't know the rule on them things, and I seen some TikTok videos and put them on there. And boy, they took my what you call it. But I never really cared about that shit anyway. I never cared about the money.
You can't get it back?
Yeah, I'm sure I can. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I can, but I never cared about it. I really didn't. I'll probably apply for it later on or something, but I never cared about it. Pedro Torres says Crawfish is the worst loser ever. He said he has always been trash since the day Gary Russell popped his jaw. And yeah, if you just look at the character of Bud Crawford, you know what I'm saying, it's nothing good. It's never nothing good. He always act like a old teenager, a old bully. You know what I'm saying? His entire career. You know what I'm saying? Anytime he confronts somebody, he's always acting like a bully, bro. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's afraid of you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares. We just want to see you get in there and fight the best. And that's not something Bud Crawford is willing to do. Especially the best at their best. So this is let me say, how you say that? RQQ. He said, how do you see the Haney versus Regis fight going? I think Haney's going to beat Regis. What do you think, Tucson?
Yeah, I think Haney going to beat Regis.
Yeah, I think Regis is on the downslope of his career. Where it's hard to find that hunger, and I think he's a little bit too big for 140. So I don't think he's going to have the same kind. He's not going to have the same kind of performance. We're not going to see that Regis that fought Josh Taylor. And I think that was his best chance to become somebody. And I think we're years beyond that. So I think Haney got a good chance of beating Regis. You know what I'm saying? So unless Regis go to the Snac program, you know what I'm saying? If you go to the Snac program, it's over for Haney. It's going to be over. He says, Paulie Walnuts. He says, are you part of the criminal cyber enterprise known as the LDPC? Yeah, I rock with the LDPC. I haven't been invited over to the LBC, but I rock with the LDPC. Love the LBDC. So I started off watching shit before the general, made the LDPC. I used to be over at the Dog Pound, way back in 2010 when we was talking crap up in there. So, I saw that. I've been with the LDPC from the beginning. Love all them guys. So, I don't know why people hate the LDPC. What's going on, Boxing Outlet? Let me drop the link for Boxing Outlet.
I don't even know what none of that is. Like, I don't even really understand it, to be honest with you.
But you don't know what the LDBC is? Yeah,
like all these little groups and.
Oh yeah, the LDBC. You don't know 78 Sports?
Yeah, I know 78 Sports is, and Black Fight Fan.
Yeah, that's the LDBC. Them the guys that created, that whole little system of the guys up under that. I remember. I just don't understand why people hate them. So much. I really don't. I mean, I think he did great because I was on this internet when they was calling black people all out their names, and I know what he was talking about. What I'm saying, people didn't have the courage to come on here to make boxing channels. What I'm saying, they would just call you out your name. It was a big old clan meeting on online when you was talking about these fights. Especially when Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather was getting into it. Man, it was just crazy, man. It was just wild. What I'm saying? I just dropped the link for you. What you say? Let me see. Boxing Outlet. What's going on, my brother? Yeah, I think I just dropped the link. I just dropped it.
CBO, what's up?
What is going on? Yeah, click that link. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know how. A2 since you know how to send a link another way. You know what I'm saying? I always just drop it in my comment section.
Yeah, that's all as far as I know.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I do it. You know what I'm saying? What is going on, Boxing Outlet? What I'm saying? Y'all know Boxing Outlet, man. He be on the ground. You gonna have to show me how to make them thumbnails, bro, because them damn thumbnails, that's better than ESPN.
I got you. Ain't nothing. How y'all feeling?
Oh, chilling, man, chilling. We've been on here cooking for a long time.
I just woke up. I came on and went to sleep, and I was like, man, I was trying to catch your show. I thought it was going to be on like at 10. I passed out, and I've been up since 4 o'clock, man.
Woo!
I've been having problems with certain things. When I load up, if I load up Bob Aaron Face, they won't let me monetize nothing.
What? Are you serious?
I'm telling you, yeah. I loaded 4 videos. I had to take them down with Bob Aaron Face, Victor Conte Face. They tripping.
Yeah.
But you had to change the thumbnail?
I had to change the whole video. Even when the stuff from what we did earlier today, when I was using them clips out of them videos of Victor talking, they let when I did the live, they monetized that. But then when I started busting the clips down, putting them up, they won't monetize. Like even this another video can't get monetized. Ain't no profanity, no nothing. Anything with Bob Aaron Face in it, they not going. Straight up.
Are they copywriting it with the Victor interview, or are they just saying it can't be monetized?
You're saying it can't be monetized?
Yeah, they trying to cut out a lot.
That's wild, man.
They're trying to cut out, my boy Upper Echelon. You know what I'm saying? They shadow banned him, and so there's certain things they don't want you saying on here. I haven't been studying none of that stuff, but they don't want you saying certain things. You know what I'm saying? So they'll shadow ban you like that. Upper Echelon was trying to warn me. You know what I'm saying? I put them TikToks on there and they demonetized me. So you got to be careful what you do, because they changing a lot of rules and they trying to clean it up. It's kind of hard to do that because boxing is a passionate sport and you want to express yourself. You know what I'm saying, the way you want to express yourself. But they're gonna get rid of a lot of content creators. Especially if you're controversial, especially if you're on a lot of racial stuff. If you're talking about them people, them alphabet people, you know what I'm saying, you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? What you say if you're gonna keep your channel. Let's see. Let's see. Pedro Torres says he said crawfish is a disgrace to boxing. He said Spence needs to stop getting so big before the fights. Yeah, I think so too. You know what I'm saying? That boy like to eat. I don't know why he spent this money on nutritionists. You know what I'm saying? If he's just gonna blow up after the fight. He had long enough to like really get in shape. So. Shit don't make no sense. Oh, my bad, YouTube.
People try to. Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what do you think about what do you think about Adrian Bronner? You know, what I'm saying he's supposed to be fighting Chris Howard, and you think he's going to get back?
When is he supposed to be fighting?
November 4th.
Oh no.
I'm like, hey man, I love AB, but I think his best days are behind him, bro. Regis been pushing for that fight. If he don't fight Devin Haney, I just thought that was kind of weak sauce because Regis, he should be trying to fight Matisse. He should be trying to unify the belts. But these guys don't seem like they interested in that kind of stuff, man. It's like look like the boxing fans are the only ones who want the best fights, you know. And you going for AB is showing me that you're not looking to fight the best, Regis. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
Regis on his way out the door.
Yeah.
He on his way out.
Yeah, I get that same feeling, man. I get that
He
same
know it too.
feeling.
We know it too. Well, Regis like 35.
No, he's 34. You know, but 35 coming.
He haven't really
You know.
looked so good in his last few fights, to be like we honest.
Yeah, we talked about that Zarilla fight, man. He got dropped in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep it real. He got dropped. You know what I'm saying? So Devin got a good chance of coming in there and beating him. You know what I'm saying? And, I sure hate it for him. You know what I'm saying? That, he going to have a backup plan. Is he going to retire? I don't see him doing nothing up at 147. I don't see who he could beat up there at 147 right now. Boots is going to definitely take over the 147 division. So it's going to be ugly, for Regis if he loses this fight. I'm still on the fence when it comes to Gary Russell. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think of Gary Russell, man? I just want to hear it, man, because to me, it's just, what y'all think of Gary Russell?
I like Gary Russell.
No, I mean, as far as what he going to do at the division, is he going to become a champion? Is he going to be, a factor? Is he going to be one of them dudes, that we think is big at that weight division? What do you guys think?
I think so.
You think so?
I think he's going to be, like he at 140, right?
Yeah. I mean, you think he's going to be like a champion? And who y'all think he could be? You think
they might not let him get a belt though, but I could see, like, I think him and Ryan Garcia be a good fight.
I think he smoked Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, would he? Oh my God, bro. Ryan Garcia.
I could see that fight. That'll be a good fight.
Man, Ryan Garcia wouldn't touch that fight with a 10-foot pole, bro. Man, Ryan Garcia is looking to fight Rolly Romero, and that's it. Maybe Devin Haney. I think Ryan Garcia is going to fight Tank again. That's what I think.
You think so?
At 140.
Yeah, I think Tank could go up to 140 to fight Ryan Garcia.
So you think Devin will fight Russell?
Yeah, I think Devin will fight anybody.
I don't.
You don't think so?
No, Devin ain't gonna fight anybody. Devin wouldn't fight Shakur.
Oh, I
not at 135. I wouldn't.
Not at 135. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got a butt whipping from Tank, or if he fight at 35 again, both of them guys gonna beat him at that weight.
Yeah, he the Devin the Duck chump. He like to duck everybody. He a professional ducker.
The man can't fight at 135 no more.
And he can't hit. He ain't got no power. His manager, BDB Boxing, said that Devin is going to stop Regis, and I think that if he stop him, there's some juice involved because he cannot punch to save his life.
That's what they say, but you don't think when you go up in weight, you don't think you gain power, especially when you're young. These guys are cutting down in weight. You don't think that has nothing to do with it?
Nah, because he was too big for that weight class. They're like, when they always say, okay, this person is a weight bully. Normally, them people could punch. They lose that weight and they could punch. Devin lose the weight and can't punch.
Mm-hmm.
So a weight bully lose weight and can punch. When he step his weight up a little bit, he should be able to still have a punch. Some type of punch. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Devin didn't have no punch to begin with. Now, he could box, but he just ain't got no power.
Yeah, I think that's a question that everybody going to have for Devin. You know what I'm saying? They love that he's a brilliant boxer, man, but how you going to be able to keep a Gary Russell off of him? You know what I'm saying? Or will Gary Russell be able to catch up to a Devin Haney though?
Cause Devin gonna be running like a chicken with his head cut off.
That's for sure. Well, that's for sure. So, but I just think everybody just ready to see him make a move. Everybody's kind of tired of him sitting on the belts, and they want to see what he gonna look like at 140. I think that's the biggest excitement going on because we know he's done with 135. You know, Shakur, he needs to just get in the ring with somebody. He needs to go ahead and knock out Edwin. If he could do that, then he'll be looking pretty good. He'll be looking pretty good if he can get that done. Tired of hearing him talking about he's the most duck man in boxing.
They was tested for less things. They want.
Yeah, man. They gonna have to. Some gonna have to give. Devin gonna have to fight a real fighter. He need to fight Tank, or he need to fight Shakur. One or
He's
the
fighting
other.
Regis. Why y'all doing Regis like that?
Regis cool. He cool. I think Regis just like Edwin. He got to put Devin in the corner, swing for the fence, and hope he hits something. Because I'm pretty sure he can knock him out. I'm pretty sure he can knock Devin out. He just got to get him in that corner, or he got to get him up against the ropes, or he got to catch him clean. Because the way that Lomo was hitting Devin and knocking his head back, man, if Regis hit him, he's supposed to go to sleep. If Regis hit him like that, he's supposed to go to sleep. But then that's that punch resistance too that Victor Conte talking about, because Devin is with the Snac program. You seeing people head go back like that, you know what I'm saying? Eventually one of them hits supposed to drop him or something. You know what I'm saying? So
He got that big neck.
Anybody with that Snac, I think the days on that pack. I ain't gonna lie. If you're on that Snac, I think you're on that pack, man. You taking some type of something. Even though I said Devin Haney go snitch on everybody, he get caught. You know what I'm saying? But I think if they on that Snac, man, it's something else going on. They lose all credibility with me.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if Devin go out there and he just knocking Regis out, like he just, you know what I'm saying, like you said, you know what I'm saying, going to the body and hurting them, and you know what I'm saying. But Devin is a young man. You know what I'm saying. As you get older, you do get that man strength. You know what I'm saying. You do get a boost. You know, from the time you 24 to 26, 28, you get a little boost. You know what I'm saying. You get a boost.
Hey, that's what Floyd said. Floyd told him, when you get older, you go get that man strength, and UPS did not deliver it yet. We've been waiting on this package. We've been waiting on this man strip. UPS, FedEx did not deliver it yet. Devin gonna be 35 years old, and we still gonna be waiting for that man strength, man.
That's crazy, man. Y'all crazy, man.
The coronavirus delayed the package because it didn't come, man.
This is y'all tripping.
I do think he's gonna be stronger at 140 though, because he was looking horrible at them weigh-ins.
Yeah, he should be a little bit.
I think Devin will beat Regis. I just want to see how he look, and then that kind of give me an idea of how he can handle, if he can handle Russell and everybody else. I mean, like I think I have no problems with seeing him outboxing Regis. I think Regis got a problem. You know, his arms are too short. If Devin just stay on the outside and box, I think he'll beat Regis. I don't think Regis got the same explosiveness. I think he's a fighter that skills are eroding. You know what I'm saying? I think if he would have fought an earlier form with Regis, it's probably been a problem. But, this Regis right now, he's not looking the same. You know what I'm saying? So I think Devin to get him. I think Devin is a perfect time for him to get him. You
don't think that this might motivate Regis to go in there and go the hardest he ever went in his life?
It could happen.
Be the first to whip on Devin.
I kind of lost a little bit of faith in Regis when winning that Josh. He let Josh Taylor, you know what I'm saying, get off the way he let him get off. I was pissed off about that. And I wanted to see Regis go in there and beat his ass, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, and you know, it was a good fight. Don't get me wrong, it was a good fight. So I don't know. If he could step it up, can he knock Devin out? Sure, he can knock him out. But how many opportunities he's gonna get? You know, because he's not looking like he's still got the same abilities. But I see what you're saying, though. If he can step it up a little bit, and he come in there looking great, I think he could beat Devin. But I think Devin's he's the fresher fighter. I think he's the younger fighter, and I think that's gonna help him out at the end of the day if he don't get knocked out. I think Regis' best chance to win is to knock Devin out.
Me too.
I don't think he's gonna outpoint him. You know what I'm saying?
No, he ain't gonna outpoint him. He most definitely ain't gonna outpoint him.
You know, because Regis, he'll fight at that same pace. He reminds me of Lights Out Tony. You know, the way he fight. He could fight at his own pace. You know what I'm saying? No matter how the fight going, you know, he'll fight at that same pace. You know, like he ain't nothing going on. So he's gonna have to find he can't let Devin dictate the pace of the fight. You know, so he's gonna have to take control and have Dev on the back foot, so he's gonna be making little points, getting little arm punch points and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And Devin, I don't think Devin gonna be able to hurt Regis or nothing like that. You know, but I do think he can outbox him. So that's just what I think about it.
Yeah, he most definitely can outbox him. But Devin gonna be in there swinging pillows at him, and Regis probably don't respect that power.
Man, why y'all hating on?
He's gonna be a lot stronger though.
That's what people say. I think that's what people are anticipating. They want to see if he got any strength at that weight. You know, the higher you move up, it's going to be harder on Dev. You know, if you don't develop no power. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Floyd, he had decent power, but he also had supernatural defense. So, you know, that's why he was able to go up so high. You know, when you got defense, his defense was almost like offense because he could you know what I'm saying, he could go between them with no effort, you know what I'm saying? And it was hard to hit Floyd. That's why AB took the losses that he took, because he didn't have that defense. So to be able to move up in divisions, you got to have that defense. You got to have something to offset power. And Floyd had decent power, but he didn't, you know, as he moved up. But, you know, he had decent power, but he was able to keep guys off him with his defense and his footwork. So if Devin don't have that, it's gonna be hard. He's gonna be taking some punishment, and I think that's gonna hurt him too. You know what I'm saying? Once he do start getting hit by bigger, stronger guys like Gary Russell. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be ugly. You know what I'm saying? So, you know. But let me see. Educated Jab, what you say? He says Dev versus Regis is a great fight for boxing. Pay-per-view worthy. You know what I'm saying? So I would pay for it. I'll pay for that. Let's see. Ambrose West says Devin versus Regis would be a 12-round fight unless Regis lands that heavy punch at the right time. But Dev has the skills to box Regis at 12. I think we all on the same page. With that. We said Devin versus Regis is a great fight for boxing. I read that. Said boxers versus puncher, classic. Yeah, I agree with that. Pedro says who's going to fight Thurman? Didn't they say Thurman is going to fight? First he pulled out of the Ugas fight, right? Who Thurman was supposed to be fighting? You remember 2 Cent?
I ain't finna fight in it.
Man, people keep saying that, and it's just hard for me to believe.
Enos got a fight coming up. Thurman got a fight coming up, right?
I believe that when I see it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to sell me on that fight. Because, Keith Thurman ran from Errol Spence Jr., you know what I'm saying? I can't see him fighting Jerron Boot Sinners because,
Payday.
Say that again.
Payday.
I don't even know how much Showtime is offering for that fight. But it's got to be a lot of money for Keith Thurman to come in there. You know what I'm
Chat, y'all
saying?
know who Thurman about to fight? Because from my understanding, I'll let you know.
Nah, Thurman over there begging, man. Thurman is begging. He want to fight somebody. He need to go over there and just fight Boots and get his head knocked off. He's hitting his body out the ring all day.
Man, y'all ain't gonna give Thurman no chance.
Nah,
Nah,
Thurman ain't got a chance in the world, man. As soon as you hit him in the body, Thurman gonna be up out of there. He might run to the washroom and come back 10 minutes later.
Did y'all see? Did y'all see how Boots was blocking those punches, man, from Villa, and how he was catching and shooting? I mean, that boy, I just thought the skill level was on another level, bro, that night.
Boots with the snack too. All of them looking suspect to me. I ain't gonna lie. But like, if you notice, a lot of people ducking Boo Boo, Mexican Monster, David Benavidez, Boots, Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? They always snap. It ain't by coincidence that these is on the we gotta duck these fighters list. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, that's why Canelo ain't fighting none of them snack niggas, man. He ain't trying to fight nobody on no snack program because he know he doing what he doing. He already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that everybody coming to the PBC fight because they ain't on nothing.
Yeah, they don't want that shit, man. Because they ain't taking nothing. You actually got a fair shot when you're dealing with them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like playing chicken, messing with one of them snack fighters. And they ain't the one that's go stern. They go straight at you. They ain't go turn left or right. You got to get as close as you can and dodge them. If you don't, they like playing chicken. They're 18 wheeling and you in a Chevy Blazer.
Yeah, because think about it. Ain't nobody really watching no Golden Boy fighters. Ain't nobody really watching, you know what I'm saying, no top ranked fighters like that. Jared Anderson, he's going to be fighting Daniel DeBoers. You know what I'm saying? That's a good fight. But, you know what I'm saying, it's just nobody from top rank right now that's, you know what I'm saying, that's pulling in the seats, pulling in the crowd and stuff, you know. So they got to do something. They got to get somebody on something with something knocking out everybody, you know.
Yeah. They I don't know.
Yeah, it's just
the sport up.
Right now the PBC is killing it.
These guys is
But I'm about to. I just wanted to check in with you for a couple minutes, bro. I got to get on this computer, man, because I done put up 4 videos while we talking, and they demonetized them and all this.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I got to figure this out.
All right, thanks for shooting by, man. I was about to shut it down anyway because we've been on here cooking for a minute.
Yeah. I'm gonna catch you next time, bro. All right, 2 Cent Boxing.
All right, peace out.
Yeah, peace.
All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap it up right there. We'll come back tomorrow, and like I said, you know what I'm saying, y'all make sure, you know what I'm saying, we y'all be safe out there, you know what I'm saying, and I'll come back early tomorrow, probably about 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? We'll cook again. You know what I'm saying? Right now I'm starting to fade. I'm starting to cook. I was up late last night. But we'll see you guys, you know what I'm saying, tomorrow, 10 o'clock, same time, same place. You know what I'm saying? This has been Pool Kind of Boxing. Make sure y'all check out 2 Cent Boxing. You know what I'm saying? And see you guys tomorrow, man. Y'all peace out, man.
Out.
Mm-hmm.